Hello, Ernest. I see you first. And David, Rich, Kaylin is here. Dinner wine. I'm not drinking wine. Or live, maybe, is what you meant to say? Okay, guys, trivia question is in. This was by request from Maria. She was asking what the last meat dish was that I ate, and now we have the trivia, so try and guess the last meat dish that I can remember eating. Martello, hello. Jesse says, hello, Hannah again. Hello, gorgeous Hannah again. Yes, today was 2 live streams. Very fun. I have to say, I really have enjoyed doing those morning ones. Oh, come on, Cord. This weekend, just for like a change of pace. I definitely have a lot of energy right off the bat in the morning versus doing live streams at the very end of my day. Jesse knows the answer. Kaylin, I'm doing well. Just gonna make a couple things tonight. It's 2 of my typical things. One is for myself and one is for Memorial Day tomorrow. I'm gonna move this over here. Yeah, like that. There we go. Yeah, but everybody says, hi Hannah, part 2. Yes, part 2 indeed. Let's see. David Macron says, chicken tenders, dino nuggets. I do love that they shape some chicken tenders like dinosaurs. Tony, good to see you, Tony Romano. I did not go to a party. I went to coffee with a friend, which was very fun. We just caught up and walked around. Nothing too crazy. Joaquim is here from Portugal. Gigantual. Gigantual. Thank you, Bantu. Hi, Essie Ovilia, I think. Thank you, chicken sandwich. Oh my gosh, get out of my way. Hello, Walter, good to see you. So first thing I'm gonna make today is some tofu scramble. What else would it be? Thank you, Tony Romano, for the sub. Thank you very much, I appreciate it. So here are the 2 tofu blocks I'll be using. It's this Minnesota tofu brand, and it's dripping a little bit. So first thing I'm gonna drain these. Sandro, es geht mir gut. Wie geht's dir? Mia Williams. Hello, how do you go on live? You have to have a certain number of live or a certain number of subscribers. Hi, baddies. Baddies. Hello, Jordan Gonzalez. All right, first thing, drain these 2 packages. One more time. Love to see it, Rich. Thank you. Yes, the very fun members emojis. If you decide to become a member of the channel, then you get to use members only emojis. And I've picked out, I don't know, 15 to 20 of them, I think. Hi, Maria Roman. We've got Crystal Jackson from Columbus, Indiana. Very nice. I have been to Indiana, but I've never been to Columbus, Indiana. All right. Let's see, Arsenal stickers. Yes, I am an Arsenal fan as well as a Chelsea fan. And that apparently really bothers people. But I am a fan of both teams. I do speak German, El Nino. Maria is from Ohio. I love Ohio. I've been to Ohio a bajillion times, driving through to the East Coast from Minnesota. Was that a Martha Stewart emoji? I think so, yes. David. Let's see, 19 emojis. Let's talk baddies. Dylan Baltzel. Maybe in the future. I just wouldn't have time for it right now. German sounds so much better from non-German people. All right. Troy Riss, I think you said. You corrected me on your name. Troy Riss. I am in Harvard right now. Cool. I've been to Harvard. It's a beautiful campus. I think I've just been there once. I went there for the Harvard-Yale football game. Never been to Ohio. I think it's great. It's a great place to be. Go Pack Go, says Robert. I like your shirt. You love your city, that's for sure. Yes, not only my city, but my state of Minnesota. Sandro, I would say I speak 3 languages. English fluently, German pretty fluently, not perfectly, and some Spanish. I'm gonna be making some tofu scramble, herb de perv. Hi Naran bye. Yup, thank you, says Tony Riss is how I'm gonna say it. What is one of your comfort movies? Any of the Harry Potter movies. I'll just throw those on as like a comforting background movie. I assume you realize Chelsea came in 4th in the league, so European football next season. European football, so not UEFA? That's disappointing. Hi, Officer Raymond Graciano dos Santos. Hello, I'm just gonna grab my skillet really quick. So this time, thank goodness, I have my soft tofu again. I tried making this on another live stream with firm tofu and it was just terrible. Matt Acoustic is back, good to see you. Thank you, David. Glad you like the earrings. What's your favorite tailgate food? Probably chips and guac. Easy one, and it's like very diet friendly. If you're eating corn chips with guacamole, it will be vegan, vegetarian, probably gluten-free as well. And it's just like a general crowd pleaser. So chips, salsa, and guacamole, I love at a tailgate. Awesome Mia, hi Ravi, hi Yaya Taman, I think I saw, Tamam. I have had Persian food, yes. We've got Troy from Minnesota. Cool. Packers, Arsenal, and Wigan Warriors are my sports teams. That's nice. Matt Acoustic, hello. Hello Graciano. So this is just some olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil, super nice, super tasty. Carter Reyes, I'm doing well. How are you? Thank you for liking the live, Kaylin. So here's one of my 2 tofu blocks. I drained it. I drained the water out of this package. It's just a bean curd. It's made out of soybeans and you know, it's eaten in a lot of Asian cuisines, very high in protein. I love it. So I'm just gonna put it in here and then just kind of break it into chunks. They don't have to be super small. Second one. All right. Hi Sardar Hasib. Manicoustic LFG Brats. Hi Hector. We've got David Macron. Oh, tofu. Yes, I eat so much tofu. I've been on a tiny hiatus from TOFU SCRAMBLE just because I had other stuff I was eating, but wanted to get back to it. Hi, little Cheeto. Good to see you. Mickey, I love injera. It's amazing. grab my spatula and just break this down a little bit and then toss it onto my stovetop. Saludos, LCDTM. Gaylord, Minnesota. That's right. You did say Gaylord, Minnesota. I need to Google map where that is. Gaylord, Minnesota. Let me write that down. If I can find my pen. Where did my pen go? I just had it. I literally wrote something down like a minute ago, and now it's completely disappeared. That is so weird. One sec, guys. Okay. I don't know where that first pen went, but I have a second. So, Troy, wait, first, what's today's date? It's the 25th. 5/2/5/2025. That's the date. So Troy Riz is from Gaylord, Minnesota. Let's Google this place. David, I'm going to answer the question in an hour. Let's see, Google Maps. Let's go from Minneapolis to Gaylord, Minnesota. All right, so let's see. 1 hour drive. So the closest thing I recognize out here is, boy, I never go in this direction. I don't know if, Mankato, that's kind of close. I don't know if I've been to Le Sueur. I think I have been to, yeah, I don't know this. Oh, Glencoe. I know Glencoe. Okay. Yeah, I would say Mankato is probably the closest the closest city I've visited to Gaylord, Minnesota. Cool. All right, back to the chat. What are we saying? Hector Rodriguez, I'm making tofu scramble. We've got beer milk hello. We've got Yabba says, did you enjoy meeting your friend? What did you have? I just had it was a decaf iced latte with almond milk, and it was surprisingly good. I feel like the last few coffee beverages I've had out at cafes have just been total garbage, and this one was delicious. Troy is in Florida now. Pop Tart said hi. John. All right. Okay. Mickey says Addis Ababa is very far. Hello, Isabella Sweeney. I do remember you. Hi, Saba. Hi, Aguas from Argentina. We've got Rogerio Torres Lopez from Rio de Janeiro. Let's move this. I love lattes, says Kaylin. Yeah, they're so good. Cosborn, the lasagna was not my favorite. I was very disappointed with the noodles that I used. It was a brand I had never used of vegan and gluten-free noodles. The first time I made the lasagna, I used chickpea noodles, which were a 10 out of 10. This batch were terrible. They were very tough and chewy. Did not cook well. So I was not happy with the noodles. I also did not like the brand of vegan cheese that I used. So I swapped a couple of brands for a couple of the ingredients with this version of my lasagna. I'm going back to the original because that one was so good, and I have learned that that's the way I'd like to make it in the future. I'm is here. We've got classic cooking. Skip says morning. Looks like you're in beautiful Scotland. Next on my travel list. We've got, Stirling, Scotland. Amazing. My name is Maya. Jerry Spearman, good to see you. How you doing on this lovely Sunday evening? And for my Americans in here, it's Memorial Day weekend, so a lot of us don't have to work tomorrow. How nice is that? So pleased. Hi, Just a Dude. Anthony Garcia, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Gotta say thank you. Much appreciated. Oops, gotta spell that right. Much appreciated, Anthony. Thank you. There we go. Danielle Ulrich is here. Hello, Danielle. Hi, Addison Long. Jerry Spearman is doing fine. Glad to hear it. You guys should share what you're gonna be doing for Memorial Day tomorrow. Those of you who are in the United States and you do get tomorrow off. I know a lot of people still have to work on Memorial Day Monday, but for those of you who do have a holiday tomorrow, what will you be doing? How are you planning on spending your day off? Also, how was eating meat again? Oh, no. I don't eat meat anymore. This is the last time I ate meat, like pre-COVID. This is just the last meat dish I ever remember eating, but it has been a long time since I've ever eaten meat. Back to the Future, thank you for the 100. Hi, Christina Provo, good to see you. Hi, Jalen, how's life in Detroit? I'm excited already for NFL football to begin, even though we still have a few months. Larry is working, unfortunately. Sorry to hear that, Larry. Just a Dude says, I'm off my regular job, but I got side work scheduled. I respect the hustle. I respect it. My company, they tell all of us flat out, like, you are not required to work on Memorial Day. Like, you are entitled to that holiday, so there is no expectation that you work at all. However, if you do wish to work on Memorial Day, you are allowed to. And I don't know if they do time and a half on holidays, but I've always just wanted to take my holidays because I don't get tons of time off. Like, it's okay, but not a ton. So I'm like, I could work some extra hours and earn some extra money, but to me, it's worth taking the day off. All right, Tony is here. Hello, Tony. Kaylin says, just relax and enjoy my day off. That sounds like exactly how I will be spending my Memorial Day. Cannot wait. Nikita, yes, I am making food. I am just, patting down and crumbling some tofu to make a scramble. I like to make it similar to an egg scramble, like a scrambled egg that people eat in the morning. Oh my gosh, Danielle, it's your husband's birthday. You are celebrating his 72nd birthday. Incredible. Well, enjoy that celebration. All right, I want to see if I missed anybody. Kaylin is saying I don't have work tomorrow, so I get to sleep in. Amazing. I have no work tomorrow. Born in the USA says I'm gonna say fish, says Just a Dude. So it looks like currently chicken tenders are winning in the poll today. I had a lot of fun, like, thinking up the trivia question options. Like, what are some meat dishes that people think I might have eaten? So I went with the 4 that you see in the poll. If you haven't voted, try and guess the last meat dish I ever ate. And this was pre-COVID. I believe it was in 2019. So I have not eaten meat in 6 years. Let's see. We've got, who else is here? We've got Yabba Dabba Doo saying hi to Back to the Future, waving the flag for Patriot Day. Who else? I'll be working until 5:30 p.m. Okay, Tony. Me too, Kaylin. Sleep in tomorrow. So David, you've got tomorrow off. Demir Bielich is here. Good to see you, Demir. Arcelia Espinoza is here. Hi, Arcelia. Yes, go Commanders. Love football. Yes, I love it. My favorite sports. Number one is football, as the world calls it, Cristiano football. Second favorite sport, American football. No one changes their profile pic more than Tony. I've noticed that too, yes. So many new profile pictures. Did you ever heard of Leaf? I don't know what that is. The Walking Dead, Carl Grimes. I love the username though. I am a fan of The Walking Dead. Hi, Omar Majid. Rocking with Cowboy is here. Good to see you. Turning, all right. Thank you, Green Day, and I will take a new photo tomorrow and post up on my YouTube channel. I love that. Tony voted for fish and chips in the poll. No, tofu is not meat. No, tofu is like a favorite recipe item for vegans and vegetarians because it's made from soybeans. So it's entirely made from plants. There is no animal product in tofu. And I absolutely love it. So here's some uncooked tofu that I've scrambled up. I'm just gonna put it on my stovetop. And now comes the fun part. I'll be roasting some potatoes. Let's see though, I first wanna see what people are saying. David Macron says dino nuggets. All right, we've got, oh, Magic Johnson, I missed your comment. I saw the Texans schedule and it's pretty hard. We've got Arcelia saying, real go-getter, hello, Andreas is here. Andreas, how was the wedding? Tell us. I saw the Texans schedule, saw that. Yabba do a hello from Back to the Future. Your fave Mexican is here. Bougie Lily is back. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing so many people. I know, I just love it. Hello. All right, so tofu is on the stovetop, and now I'm gonna be roasting some potatoes. Such a fave. Happy Life, I love this. I've got two mods in here. I've got Back to the Future and I've got Happy Life. Happy Memorial Day Eve to all of you. Magic Johnson is saying, as a non-vegan, I love tofu even though it has no flavor at all, but that is actually what makes tofu so amazing, is because you can give it any flavor you want. And believe it or not, I have made brownies, I have made cupcakes, and I have made cheesecake and chocolate pie with tofu. So you can use tofu in a bunch of dessert recipes. I've used tofu to make Mexican hot chocolate. You can use it to thicken up drinks like shakes and, I don't know, other things. And then of course you can make savory dishes like kung pao tofu or tofu scramble, or I don't know. There's so many ways to use tofu. So the fact that it doesn't have a flavor, it's pretty bland, makes it a perfect recipe ingredient because it just takes on the flavors of whatever dish you decide to put it into. Your fave says, hello, Happy Life, doing paperwork while listening. Nice. All right. Yabba says, I must be a close second on profile changing shapeshifter. Looks like Yabba has, is that the flag that I have on my countertop? Oh my gosh, it is. It's from I think it's from this morning. That is so funny, Yabba. We've got Brandon Preacher Green. Hello. Hi, Angel Hernandez. We've got David saying you're popular, Hannah. Yeah, I mean it's been a good amount of viewers on tonight's live stream. I'm happy. Adrian is here. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Ella Nila, I think. Tofu is Asian, yes. Yes, tofu, I believe, originates from China. So whenever you go to a Chinese restaurant, you will see tons of tofu dishes. You can also find tofu in Thai cuisine and Japanese cuisine. You can find it sometimes at Indian restaurants. So yeah, tofu is used a ton in Asian cuisines because those Asian cuisines know what's up. And it's tofu. All right, we've got Frankie Elliott. Thank you, Frankie. We've got Umberto Gajardo. Gringa. I'm half gringa. Tofu. Okay, saw that one. Subscribe to the channel. This is who said that? Dang it, I lost my place. Oh, that was Back to the Future. We've got going all in to encourage new members tonight. Need more green. The members will come. They'll come eventually. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Back to the Future. Sent another 100. I'm doing well, Ella. I saw Martha Stewart again. Yes, she is one of my all-time favorite human beings. She literally just days ago published her 101st book. She is 83 years old. I believe she turns 84 this year. She's so cool. She's what I aspire to be like in my 80s. Let's see. April Dawn Roach is here. Amazing. Good to see you, April Dawn Roach. Hope you're having a great weekend. Thank you for the bless you. Bye, Mickey. Thank you, Rich. Yes, Magic Johnson. I absolutely love Asian food myself. Asian food, I would argue, is the most vegan and vegetarian friendly. They have so many plant-based dishes. It's like a dream. It's so easy whenever I roll into any kind of Asian restaurant, whether it's Chinese, Japanese, Cambodian, Tibetan, Nepalese, Thai, Indian. I mean, it's just, you eat like royalty whenever you go as a vegetarian or a vegan. When I'm 80, yes. Dang, it looks like chicken tenders is still dominating this poll. Even though I believe I listed it first, which, as you know, you guys, whatever is listed first in the poll is not the right answer. Carter is new. Welcome, Carter. Glad to have you here. Hope all is well. Arnold is here. Hello, Arnold. Hi, Pranab. Joski. Joski is saying, I feel like it's impossible to read your shirt without the accent. Yeah, soda. I think, you know, other people would say soda. But yeah, Minnesota lends itself to the Minnesota accent. Minnesota. Jimmy says potato. Yes, I am going to be roasting some lovely yellow potatoes. And I'm actually going to be bringing these potatoes over to my parents' house tomorrow as, you know, as just like some food for like to provide, because different people are bringing different foods. So I originally was going to bring the lasagna that I made a few days ago, but I was just so unhappy with how it turned out. You know, I told my mom, who's kind of coordinating food, I was like, honestly, I don't really want to bring this over. I'm really disappointed with how it turned out. The thing is, my family is chill enough where they would be fine. They would have been fine eating the lasagna, but I was like, I just feel like this is so crappy. Like, you guys deserve better than this subpar batch of lasagna. Mini soda, yes, soda, soda, soda. Hi, Duck. Hi, Chaco, your little brother. Looks like you guessed fish and chips for the poll. Chaco, your little brother. I'm doing well, Pranab. Your Canadian Miami is saying hello from Canada. Where in Canada are you located, your Canadian? Oh, sorry, Mommy. I read it as Miami. I was very confused. Fidelito is back. I remember you. Also, my tofu is boiling, not boiling, but it's stewing. I think that's the right word for it. So I'm just gonna give it a nice stir here. We've got, okay, you're in Ottawa, very nice. Jimmy says mini soda. We've got yellow potatoes are the best. Yeah, I absolutely love any kind of potato, but especially yellow potatoes are just so tasty. Thank you, Arnold. Magic Johnson says, fun fact, haggis is illegal in the USA because of safety concerns. Really? Are you sure? I'm pretty sure my mom grew up eating that. But maybe not. Maybe it's a different kind of weird organ meat. I could be wrong. AP says, just ate pulled pork sandwich with potato salad. Nummy. Hi, Tyler Vestrat. What was wrong with the lasagna? Good question, April Dawn. So I would say two things I really didn't like about the lasagna that I made. It was like my second time making this lasagna recipe. The first thing, by far the worst, was the noodles, the lasagna noodles. They were tough and chewy and extremely difficult to cut with a knife, which just made it like a disaster. It just like, you could not cut into it without like sinking the whole thing. So the noodles were really bad. I'm gonna go back to the first brand of noodles that I used in the earlier batch. And then the second thing I didn't like was the cheese. I feel like it was like really greasy and liquidy. It didn't melt nearly as good as the first brand of cheese. So those are the two things I will fix when I make lasagna the next time I make it. It'll actually be in a couple weeks because I'm hosting a couple of friends over here for dinner, and I told them that I'm making lasagna for dinner when they come over. And so I'm like, oh my God, at least when I saw this most recent batch of lasagna and how bad it turned out, I was like, thank God this is not the lasagna attempt that I was gonna make for my friends. Like, I'm glad I got this. Like, I learned that those noodles were really bad. I learned that cheese, the brand of vegan cheese I bought, was not good for melting on the top of lasagna. So yeah, it was not great, but honestly, it would have sucked if that had been the batch of lasagna that I baked for my friends coming over for dinner. At least I got it out of my system. Taylor Archer, ooh, it's 2:32 in the morning for you. Goodness. All right, back to these lovely potatoes, but let me just see who I missed. Alistor says hi. We've got King Charles is coming tomorrow. Oh my gosh, no way! That's cool. Also, sorry, 1 second. It smells like someone burned something, but I don't think it's me. Yeah. Yeah, odd. Okay, anyways, Jimmy is from Louisiana. We've got Zati, hello. Regina Rossi is here. Depth Nos, hello. Big night here tomorrow in TO Jelly Roll and Post Malone. Oh, that's really cool. Really cool. Hi, Timothy Peters. Brutal Gamer OG says hola. You need ricotta and oven ready noodles and sausage cut up. No, so first of all, I'm vegan, so I don't eat sausage or regular ricotta. I made tofu ricotta. So I've made this recipe before, but with dairy-free vegan ricotta using tofu. So the ricotta was awesome. The sauce was delicious. And I used ready-made oven noodles, but they were terrible in the oven. Just a Dude says, never make experiential food for guests. The thing is, it wasn't my first time making the recipe. I only made a couple modifications and they were supposed to be pretty simple. It was the lasagna noodles, which are already ready for the oven, and just sprinkling some cheese on the top. But the whole thing looked so bad that I will be doing the original noodles and the original cheese. Never would I have guessed that those modifications would have resulted in such a different lasagna. Yeah, doing a speech for Canada, says your Canadian mommy. Let's see. Hi, Ole Miss Patriot. I'm doing tofu scramble and some roasted potatoes. Did Dino Nuggets win? You're just gonna have to wait another 25 minutes. Drewski is here. Awful, what's that? I remember hearing that word. It's some kind of organ meat, but I can't remember. Holden Queen, okay. Todd Long is here. Hello, Todd. We've got Malik Ali here. Hello, Malik. Magic Lungs, Heart, etc. Ray is here. Doing well, Dark Gloom. Oh my gosh, we're already at 52 likes. That was pretty fast for tonight. All right, so now let's get these potatoes all chopped up. I'm gonna grab a nice bowl to put them in. Sorry guys, one sec. Can I ask, I can't eat eggs, I'm allergic to the whites. What is an alternative? You can actually get what's called just egg. It's like it's like the liquid egg that you pour into a skillet and scramble it. For baking, I'll show you what you can use. One sec, guys. So for baking, what I'll use is this Bob's Red Mill egg replacer powder. So you put 1 tablespoon and then 1 tablespoon of this powder, mix it with 2 tablespoons of water, and it'll thicken, and then you use it to substitute eggs in your baking. So I highly recommend this if you're trying to bake something that usually will need an egg. So you can use this. You can also make a flax egg that works as a substitute as well. Ray, thank you. So it's not the whites. No, so it's completely, let me just put it in the chat. Your Canadian mommy, check out the brand Just Egg. It's completely vegan, so no egg components whatsoever. Whatsoever. Ooh, I was writing earlier today, so my typing skills are shot. Hungry too. I know I'm getting hungry. Bob's Red Mill for the win. Yes, you're welcome, your Canadian mommy. I don't know what Kasu Martsu is. Never heard of it, Magic Johnson. I'm gonna grab a knife. Ulesine, hello. I see Adebisi, Ibu Kunmi. Can you make egg sandwiches and other things like that? Yes. Like I said, check out that brand, Just Egg. They sell not only like liquid egg substitute that you can pour into a skillet and scramble like an egg, and it's completely vegan. It's made from like tapioca and pea protein and potato and stuff like that. But they also sell these frozen like vegan egg omelets that you can thaw out, and then you can like saute in olive oil. You can microwave it if you're short on time. But they sell like completely vegan egg products that are really cool. And I think, because I grew up eating scrambled eggs, I think they look and taste like regular eggs. And I never minded eating eggs. Making handmade homemade cream, yum, such a workout but so worth it, says Ole Miss Patriot. Hello, Christian Pacheco. I do not eat milk, I don't drink milk. Your Canadian mommy says amazing, I miss eggs. These days, you can find some really good egg substitutes that are, you know, vegan eggs, and you will not miss eggs anymore because they taste like the real thing. Hi, the unbothered sun, amazing. Egg salad wraps are great, yes. Totally agree. All right, this one's looking good. Yeah. KJ, I'm making roasted yellow potatoes. We've got your Canadian mommy saying I became intolerant 10 years ago. Wow, it's been a long time then. My tofu is bubbling away. Not French fries, I'm making roasted potatoes. These will be like home fries. Ethan, hello. Thank you, Kiana Walton. Daniel O'Regan is here. Oh my gosh, Gordon Ramsay. One of my favorite people in the whole wide world. Such a hero of mine. I mean, I admire the culinary skills, but I feel like more than that, it's like the tough as nails mentality. We've got Hog, hello. Marley, Jamaica, I'm at the beginning stage of my vegan journey. It's hard and expensive to find organic products. I would say shop online, go to target.com, go to Amazon. You can find a lot of organic products that aren't that expensive. I'm just gonna turn down the heat on my tofu. Hi, Tyler Major. Let's see. David says potatoes. We've got Rich saying there's actually someone sleeping on a live stream right now with 200 viewers. I mean, I don't make the rules. You can do whatever within bounds. You can do so many things on YouTube Live. Some people really want to watch someone sleep, I guess. That's totally, to me, that's totally reasonable. What is this? Sorry, sometimes there's just these weird little, like, blemishes on potatoes, and I don't know what it is. Yuck. All right, anime time is here. Sardinia is a region of Italy, by the way. Yes. I love you. Thank you, Rooted. Kirby, amazing. You're here too. Please no inappropriate comments. Yes, please. Tate Johnson, I'm making roasted yellow potatoes. Hi, Alvaro from Chile. Lovely. Never been to South America, so I've never been to Chile. Tate says, yum. Yes, I'm making these roasted potatoes for Memorial Day tomorrow. I'm gonna bring these over to my parents' house because we're gonna eat there and play some card games and just hang out. Hello, Khurshid. Just plugging in my computer really quick, guys. I'm doing well. NJS says awesome. Asia's skyline is very impressive. What part of Asia? Ooh. Ramsey and Magic Johnson are here. I know, it's funny when people choose usernames that are celebrities, like Tom Cruise, who keeps coming to the live streams. Yabba Dabba Doo says, Hannah, I think you are Italian because fast forwarding to find the flag, you have very expressive hands like them. I think someone has actually said that on my live streams before. They're like, you have hand gestures like the Italians. I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. I cook different potatoes about 3 times a week. Yeah, I eat so many potatoes. I love them. El Santi is here. Hello. Travel and Art is here. Mia Khalifa, Sai Kumar said hi. I'm spotting some like internal blemishes with these, but they should still be fine. Hi, Keith VP 12. Did we get the poll right? I'm gonna close the poll in 10 minutes, so just gonna have to wait a little bit longer. I'll set the timer on my microwave so I don't forget. Beautiful, I am making some roasted potatoes. Like, Emiel. Oh, what's his face? Not, oh my god, I know who you're talking about. Emiel. It's not Emiel, it's someone else. Oh my god, what the heck is his name? What is that guy? Bam! Emerald! Emerald, yes. Emerald Live, yes. Emerald, I think Lagasse is his name. I haven't seen him in a long time, you guys. I hope he's doing well. He was a childhood fave of mine as well. I feel like I'm not doing a super good job of keeping these chunks consistently cut like in size, so we'll just have to see how they cook. Yeah, I'm having to like kind of eyeball bigger chunks and cut them in half, like this one. Not my finest work, but oh well. They should still be fine for the most part. Kumar. Hello, hi Lexi, thank you. I see him on late night infomercial reruns. Oh, that's kind of sad. I want to see him on like cooking shows. But also, he must be getting kind of old, right? Hi, Naz. All right, last potato, guys. Whew. And I'm realizing I actually forgot to turn on my oven to roast these, so I'm gonna do that really quick. Hello, Big Hoss 920. So good to see you. Lexi, I got these earrings from Amazon back in December. Go to Amazon and search for Christmas Jingle Bell earrings, and maybe you'll still be able to find them, but it was, you know, 5-6 months ago. Happens to all of us. Yes, Paul. Very true. Sounds really tasty, NJS. Hello, Marco. Heidelberg ist live. Guten Morgen oder bei euch in Amerika. Guten Abend. Wunsch in, ich fahre jetzt, wow, nach Amsterdam. That's so cool. Safe travels. Gute Reise, Marco. Marco just said, just saying a little hello or good evening. And right now, Marco is driving a truck to Amsterdam. That is sounds kind of rough, given that it's just about 4 a.m. But sounds nice. Hi Lexi is saying thank you, meow meow, glad you like the videos. Sure, soft consistency like done, says NJS. All right, so just about done chopping these. Is that Dutch? No, Magic Johnson, that was German. I speak German. And Marco knows that ich kann Deutsch. Also hat mich eine kleine Nachricht angetippt. David, yeah, no, not Dutch. JR the Boss says hello, meow meow. I do not read. That looks like Mandarin Chinese. German, Magic Johnson. I don't think you heard me. He was speaking in German because I can speak in German. Roger A. Stevens, what does that shirt mean? So it's an abbreviation of my state in the United States. So I live in the state of Minnesota, and it's called Soda Clothes because they are based here and they do, you know, clothing and accessories and home goods like candles and blankets and flannels and mugs and other stuff that have like Minnesota aesthetic. Please, I wish you were a foreigner. I'm a foreigner to most of the world because most of the world is not in the United States. Okay, so let's get these going. I'm gonna clean off my cutting board. Hi, Slim Shady, you're my favorite rapper. Love to see you. Potatoes, yes. Ooh, you guys, 3 minutes until I close the poll, so vote, vote, vote if you haven't already. And chicken tenders are still winning with 50%. You know there have been a lot of people scrolling through my live and voting and then just scrolling on when you see that the first option in the poll has 50% of the poll votes. Let's see, it looks like Bratwurst has 13%, Sloppy Joe's has 17%, and 22% is fish and chips. Rich says Toronto's nicknames are the Six and the Big Smoke. Interesting, why those nicknames? I've never heard of those before. Eliana Miller is here. Hi, the Do Guy. Nasir Mahmood. Thank you for the heart and rose emojis. What's in the bowl? Ta-da! Some lovely chopped yellow potatoes. So the next step is to drizzle some of these, some of this extra virgin olive oil over the potatoes. Thank you, Garu Bean. I love these too. Drake gave us the 6 for area code 416. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. What about the other one? Big Smoke? What's the reason for Big Smoke? I'm curious about that one. Is Slim Shady M&M? Yes, indeed. Martha Stewart emoji. Yes. Also, there's about 1 minute left of the poll, so guess if you haven't. Kana Jirai is here. Hi, Kana Jirai. Good to see you. Last minute, guys, before I close the poll question. So if you have not voted, and I'm sure most of you watching right now have in fact voted, but if you haven't, take a look at the poll question I put in the chat and try and guess the last meat dish I ever ate, which was back in 2019. Hi, Seva. Hello, your hair looks pretty. Thank you, beautiful. This is my go-to hairstyle. All right, so looks like the olive oil is pretty much all over these potatoes. So I'm gonna pause here, close the poll, and let you know what the answer is. David Macron really wants it to be Dino Nuggets. Nice Magic Johnson, sounds lovely. So the trivia question was, guess the meat dish I ate. And 47% said chicken tenders. It's not chicken tenders because that was first in the list, guys. The second most common question, or the second most common option was fish and chips, and that is correct. The last time I ate a meat dish was in 2019, and I was training for a marathon, and I had the craziest craving, like the most powerful craving, specifically for fish and chips. So I ate fish and chips. I would eat some salmon, like fish, I would say. I was craving fish during that 4-month training period. And then once I finished my marathon, I never wanted it again. And I ran 2 marathons after that. That was my first one. And when I did my second and third marathons, I never had another craving for any kind of meat. It was just that very first training cycle. So I don't know what that was about, but I just decided to lean into it. I was like, whatever. I'm putting myself through all this extensive training, and I'm craving fish. So I did eat some fish while I was training. Daniel says it's 3 a.m. in the UK, but I'm hungry and curious to the answer. Fish and chips, Daniel. Drum roll, says Paul Rivera. Hi, Mark Hernandez. Beautiful did not say that. Blimey, says Paul Rivera. Travel and art, you got it right. Nice job. So, beautiful. I am vegan. So I have been vegan since 2012, but there was that 1 4-month period while I was training for a marathon where I was like, you know what? Whenever I am craving fish, I'm just gonna, after a long workout, go and grab like some fish. So that was like one period of my life where I did eat fish, but nothing else that was not vegan. But I did go vegan when I was 18 years old, back in 2012. Pescatarian means you will eat, what is it? You don't eat any meat products except fish, but you still eat eggs and dairy. So that's another, I feel like I need a chart to explain all of this stuff. I should honestly just do like a 10-15 second shorts video on YouTube where it's like, I get this question so much, and you can Google it, everybody, but here is how you break down these basic diets. The difference between vegetarian, pescatarian, vegan, and then there's a bunch of other ones like keto and gluten-free and paleo. Daniel Dinsdale got it correct. Amazing. Maxwell, I don't know if you use the metric system. I don't know how tall I am in meters, but I am 5 feet and just about 5 inches. Like just, I round up to 5'5". April Donrich says fun times. Fisher92, I am in Minnesota, if that's what you're asking. England is beautiful. Thank you, David Macron. Any suggestions on vegetarian sausage? Ole Miss Patriot. Yes, Ole Miss Patriot. Definitely check out the Impossible or Beyond Meat brand. I feel like they're the same, but maybe they're not. Are they the same? This is a great question. Are Impossible Burgers and Beyond Burgers the same brand? I feel like they're not. No, Impossible Burger. Okay, so that answers my question. Meat brands for vegan, vegetarian sausages. What are the main varieties of potatoes commonly available there? Yabba dabba doo. So these are, I believe you would technically call them like Yukon gold potatoes. I know for sure these are gold potatoes. We have russet potatoes. We have, gosh, I'm blanking on other ones. Those are like the main 2 I eat. I'd have to like actually pay attention. Sweet potatoes, but that's kind of not quite the same. Thank you, blah, blah, blah. Yes, April Dawn Roach. I do eat soy. I eat a lot of tofu, which comes from the soybean. It's a bean curd, which is delish. Hi, Pisces. Okay, guys, so it's time to put some salt on these potatoes. I'm also getting a little hungry, so I'm just gonna snack on some of these lovely cashews. Although I should save some of these for my next attempt at that lasagna that wasn't so good. I love cashews so much. Hello, Sai Kumar. Cashew's amazing. Yeah, April Dawn Roach. Tofu is made from soybeans. And it's very common in Asian cuisines. So there's the salt, and then I'm gonna grab my berbere spice. My favorite spice blend of all time. Hello, make out Hershey. So time to put my lovely batch of berbere spice on here. This is an Ethiopian spice blend. Honestly, I could not tell you all the individual spices that are in here, but it is spicy. And I like to use a lot of it. Hello, Alex. McDonald's burgers also. I was thinking about another trivia question I could ask you guys. Oh, I know. But this would be an easy one for a lot of people. Let me think on this for just a second. Okay, I got it. Okay. Guess my favorite comedian. If you know, you know. This is definitely one of the if you know, you know questions. Is it Will Ferrell? Is it Kevin Hart? Is it Jim Carrey? Or is it Dave Chappelle? I gotta double check. Is it Chappelle with 2 P's? Dave Chappelle, yep, 2 P's and 2 L's. Boom. Guess my favorite comedian, guys. Let's see if you can get it. Who is my favorite comedian? You guys, I almost put, what's his face? The guy I cannot stand. Not Billy Hall, what's his face? Adam Sandler. I almost put Adam Sandler in there. Yeah, OGs, let's see it. Currently, Dave Chappelle has the most votes. Then it's Jim Carrey. Then it's a tie between Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this one open for maybe like 20 minutes. Let's see who can get it right. NJS, yes. If you go to my channel, just click on my face icon that you see on your screen. Head over to my channel and you will see that I bake everything. I do cakes, muffins, cupcakes, breads, pancakes. What have I done? Pies, pie crusts, brownies, cookies. I love baking. I actually love baking more than I love cooking. Paul Rivera says Dave Chappelle. Peter Pascal. Trivia question, what's in the spice mix? That would be a trivia question for me because I actually don't even know. Garu Bean says I got cooked by a millennial who hates Gen Zs. Yikes. I mean, I'm a millennial and I will be like fully transparent. I remember initially I was like, okay, these Gen Zs are just like, they're too like loosey-goosey and just whatever. But I've really grown to love Gen Z, okay? Gen Z is, like, they crack me up. I appreciate their no BS approach to things. It's like, they just can't deal with, like, corporate 9-to-5 bull crap. I feel like they're just very attuned to, like, what is for real and what is fake AF. Zlata is back. Good to see you. Adam Sandler, lol. Yes, I love The Last of Us, but please no spoilers. I love that show, and I know the season finale is tonight, but I will be saving it for a later day this week. Magic Johnson says these are some legendary comedians. Yes, I am trying to make it hard for you all, but the OGs will definitely know which one it is. Currently now it's Kevin Hart who's leading the poll. All right, Pete Davidson, I do think he's funny. Shane Gillis, I've heard of him, but I don't think I've ever watched him. Magic Johnson guessed Kevin Hart. Hi, Antonia Salazar, making some potatoes. Erman Ergin says potato. Tef chocolate cookies, oh my gosh, you guys, those, I would say the Tef chocolate cookies and the white chocolate chip almond flour cookies, those are my two favorite cookies of all time. Theo Von, I'm not the biggest fan of Theo Von. I mean, he's okay, but I don't know, he kind of annoys me. Personal opinion, I know a lot of people love him. I guess I'm more confused about the hype around Theo Von, more than anything. All right. This is David McCron. Will Ferrell is so corny. That was Johnny Yescus. Hi, Parmarth. Nate Clark is the one who said Theo Von. Martha Stewart. Oh, I love her so much. She's so wonderful. Yabba says, if it's like most spice mixes, it varies from family to family, area to area, same as garam masala. Yes, I would say that is true. Magic Johnson says, has to be Kevin Hart. He's my friend. I don't find Jim Carrey very funny. Unpopular opinion. Ditto, Theo Von is annoying. The thing is, like, I try to be fair with my judgments of people. The clips I've seen of Theo Von, I'm like, I don't see the appeal here. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like a mystery to me why he's so popular. But whenever that's the case, I think to myself, I must be missing something. Maybe I haven't watched enough of his stuff. 'Cause clearly there's some mass appeal with this person. If millions and millions and millions of people follow him, listen to him, love him. So yeah, I feel like I just I haven't quite watched enough of him to know. Raged Loyal, I think his looks make him funny. Is that Theo Von you're talking about, April Dawn Roach? Your mom 608 with the moon emoji. All right, I'm gonna grab my cooking sheet. And I think I can reuse this. I'm just gonna give it a quick clean off. Yes, Theo Von. I meant Kevin Hart is my favorite comedian. I will say, I think they're all funny, the comedians that I listed. Do you like Jerry Seinfeld? I cannot stand Jerry Seinfeld. Nothing that he has ever done I find funny. Ugh, no, don't like him. I think he's a lovely human being. I've listened to plenty of interviews with him, but it's like his style of comedy is just not funny. I feel like it's really dated, and this is where I'm with the Gen Zs. I feel like any Gen Z watching Jerry Seinfeld would not find him funny. They'd be like, why is this person even a comedian? He's not funny. All right, so baking sheet is ready to go. George was funnier than Jerry. Theo Vaughn has the right friends and connections. That's his appeal. Oh, interesting. What would Martha say? That's funny. All right. Wes Robinson, how do you stay so thin? I would say genetics have been on my side since day one. Like, I've always just been like a lean person. I've always done sports since the age of like 4 or 5. And then I would say my diet is pretty good. I don't have any underlying health conditions I know of, so I feel like that makes life simple for me. But yeah, I stick to like whole foods, plant food. So mostly what I eat is vegetables, beans, grains, nuts, and seeds. I limit the amount of sugar I eat. I limit the amount of processed like flours and highly like artificial stuff. So I try to just eat like very simple, basic, pure plant food. And then I just am a very active person. Like, I walk every day, I run 3 to 4 times a week, I do yoga, I do Pilates, I do, I've been doing like HIIT training, which is like high intensity interval workouts. So active lifestyle, regular sleep, tons of water, sticking to plants, keeping my stress low. Like, I'm a pretty chill person, and I think that's about it. I mean, this isn't definitive, this is just me speculating like why I've always like maintained a pretty, I would say, like lean figure. Martha loves MASH, I bet. Wes Robinson thinks it's Dave Chappelle. MASH is funnier than most today. Seinfeld has its moments. I never found that show funny. Oof. Even as a kid, I remember my parents would have it on TV and I would just sit there and I'm like, dude, this is so stupid. George Carlin is the GOAT. Trick Shot 212, hello. Dude, Steve Harvey, freaking love him. When he botched, okay, can we take a moment and remember when Steve Harvey botched the Miss America pageant? It might have been the Miss World pageant. It was one of those beauty pageants. And I couldn't believe it. I remember sitting there watching him open the envelope and he read something, and then the woman is like, she's like crying and she's like, oh my God, gets her crown, and then he's like, I made a mistake. It's the other lady. And it was so awkward, you guys, but we were just like dying laughing watching that. That was back in 2015 or 2016. It was a shite show, but it was so dang funny. Dave Chappelle, says Wes Robinson. We got some more people in here. Martha Stewart. Lift weights. I need weights, says April Dawn Roach. Emra Sahin. Rob Faye is here. How is life in Arizona, Rob Faye? Tony Romano is guessing Kevin Hart. I'm not gonna say. Not just yet. I've got my timer. I'm gonna close the poll in 9 minutes, so stick around and I will let you know who my favorite comedian is. Hi, Bantu Mandinka. Wes Robinson says we can lift together. Yeah, these are definitely not uniform in size. I did not do a good job here. Ooh, I feel like there's just some days where you're really on point with your execution, and some days you're like, this gets a D+. This is not good. I'm okay, like these will be fine if I leave them in the oven to cook for long enough, but yeah, I just was not, I'm like looking at these thinking, what on earth is that chop, man? These are not uniform. Yikes. Oh well. Alright, I'm gonna start with that. I don't, well, maybe I'll add a few more. I don't like crowding a baking sheet just because it makes it harder for them to get crispy. These are potatoes, BK. Same when they read out the wrong winner at the Oscars, so funny. Oh my God. I'm the kind of person though, when that is happening in real time, internally, I'm dying because it makes me really, really sad to see someone embarrassed in public who it's like something goes wrong or they're made to look like a fool in public. My heart breaks for them. I hate those moments. I'm like overwhelmed with this feeling of intense pity for that person who is just stuck in a really, really awkward situation. Because I know I would be just dying if that were me in that position. So yeah, tough to watch, but they happen, obviously, because life doesn't always go according to plan. Okay, so these are looking good. I think that's enough for this sheet. Let's see how they cook. Oh well. Here we go. Chopped up seasoned potatoes going in the oven. I'm gonna start with 15 minutes. And my tofu is looking nice and just about fully cooked up here. Let's see who I missed. Kevin Hart with The Rock in the tortilla slap challenge. I did not see that, David, but it sounds hilarious. So, ooh, tofu's looking yummy. Still has a little bit more cooking to go. Jim Carrey is one of a kind, says Johnny Yescas. No rosemary on the potatoes. Not this time. Rosemary, I wouldn't really, I mean, you can pair it with Burberry spice, but actually, one, don't have rosemary on hand, and two, it's not something I really cook with that often. I prefer to just keep it simple to olive oil, salt, and Burberry spice, because Burberry alone already has tons of spices because it's a spice blend, and I prefer to keep it a little simple with my seasonings. Hello, Zainab. Kevin Hart is winning. Looks like Will Ferrell is winning actually right now. Let's see. It's Will Ferrell with 20. Wow, you guys, this poll is pretty evenly split. I love this. Will Ferrell has 28, Kevin Hart is 26, and then it's tied dead even between Jim Carrey and Dave Chappelle. Love to see you guys, you know, really split and divided about who my fave, or what the answer is, I should say. Hello, Cassidy! The answer to the first poll, what was it? Oh, did you see what the question was? So the question, Cassidy, was, guess the last meat dish that I ate. And the options were, let me read them to you. Oh shoot, Rich already said it. Maybe you did see the question. We love your streams. Thank you, David. Yeah, you guys, it's never the first option. Yeah, but still, Will Ferrell has so many votes. Will Ferrell is like second place right now. It's Kevin Hart on my end, says Magic Johnson. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is season this lovely tofu scramble. One sec. So I love to put a ton of stuff into my tofu scramble. And a lot of you have already seen me make this before. I'll start with the salt. I use Morton's salt. I absolutely love this stuff. Thank you, Zainab. Randy, good to see you. I had a great day. Since when have you been a vegetarian? Dollars and cents. I am not only a vegetarian, I'm a vegan, and I've been vegan since 2012. Hi, Bougie Lily. Good to see you. Let's go heart. All right, so I'm gonna do one full teaspoon of salt, and then move along to my spices. I'm gonna do curry first of the spices. So I love this organic curry from McCormick, I think. Yeah. I ordered this from Target.com. Since high school, correct. Naz, yes. I decided to go vegan my senior year of high school, which was in 2012. I bet that's for Scramble. You are correct, Travel and Art. Very correct. So I think I use a little, just like, you know, a little more than 1 full teaspoon of curry. Paprika, oh, so good. I'll show you that next. Have you ever spoken Turkish before? Yes, I spent a summer learning Turkish, Zeynep. So I'm using paprika, also organic, and from Target, it's the Good and Gather brand, which is a Target brand. Rob, Faye, I'm gonna come home August 3rd. Oh my gosh, yes! Come to the Great Minnesota Get Together. Oh, the Minnesota State Fair, you guys. It's so wonderful. I love it. Nah, says, no wonder you have 0 wrinkles. I do have some wrinkles. I think every person does. Okay, this is being annoying. I'm trying to just get this off. You know, maybe I should just sprinkle it. I was trying to get the sprinkle cover off, but I am just gonna eyeball it here. Paul Smith is PTM Rose's favorite comedian. I don't know who that is. Miss everything at home, Rob Faye. Well, then come back. You should come back to Minnesota. Arizona's only getting hotter. I would not live there. Tab is here. Hello. I've never been to Korea, no. All right, garlic powder is next. Such a fave. I put it in so much of the food that I make, and another thing that I just will eyeball. And in my experience, I don't think I've ever over garlic seasoned anything, because I love eating garlic plain, and so putting a ton of it in my food has never been an issue for me. Hello, Peter Vincent, good to see you. Cassidy, no, I did know that the Indy 500 was today. It was actually Rich who put it on my radar, but I have no idea what happened. I was watching the Premier League, last day of games today. Godly Spoken says Tim Cheese. I don't know who that is. Get Mon Chocolata is so lekker. Alex Pillow, your winner. Ever bought a jar of pickled garlic? Never pickled garlic, no. But it sounds amazing and really healthy, Johnny Yescas. Dempsey is here. Garlic is my blood, LOL, I love it. Yes, it's just like the best thing ever. There's one more thing I forgot to grab, which is turmeric. And I like to use this as a flavor. Like, I put it in for flavor and also for what did I say? Flavor and color. Like, taste as well as appearance are the reasons why I use turmeric. So, nice bit of that. And, I mean, you can modify the amount of the spices that you put in here to suit your own taste. These are the ones over time I've realized, okay, these are my absolute favorites. These are my goat spices. Turmeric is supposed to be a natural anti-inflammatory. I mean, I feel like all spices, like curry, turmeric, paprika, garlic, all of them have some kind of health benefit that they're known for. I have been to Asia before. I lived in Azerbaijan, in Baku, for a summer. Let's see. Turmeric. You are the spice girl of cooking. I like that. All right, and I do think I will need more curry in here. Even though it always seems like I put so much in, I think the tofu absorbs a lot of it and then the color doesn't really shine unless you put a ton of seasoning on it. So more turmeric. I always want to say turmeric, but I think it's turmeric. And then just gonna eyeball more curry. Rodface is Minnesotan. Maria, good to see you. Also, Maria, you had asked, I don't know if you were on here earlier, but you were asking about, you had asked on the live stream this morning about that one trivia question that has to do with the last meat dish I ate. So I'm thinking you missed that one. And the options for that question were, let me read them out: bratwurst, fish and chips, chicken tenders, or sloppy joes. Which was the last meat dish I ever ate, Maria? I don't really speak any Turkish anymore, Zainab. Alex Palau went nuts after winning the Indy 500, climbed the fence. I freaking love when they go like just hog wild when they win, because it's been so much work to get to that point. I think if I was there, I'd react that way too, if I was in that position. All right, so this is like pretty much all done getting spiced. And now I'm just gonna put it back on my stovetop to cook a little bit more, because there's just a little bit of moisture I'd like to get off of this before I eat it. Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is so cool. Yeah, it was a great summer. I loved Azerbaijan. Google turkey. Will you pronounce Worcestershire? Yes, Johnny. Hannah, what do you want to cook today? I am making tofu. I think you just saw me. I've never been to Asia before. Shocking, not gonna lie. I mean, many people haven't been to Asia. Casty is talking to Rich. Do they still drink milk and kiss the bricks after winning the race? Oh man, this is just like racing stuff I don't know like anything about. Thank you, David. Hi, Haley Ross. Welcome back. Good to see you. Maria says, I don't know. Why is this kind of hard? I was trying to make it hard for people. I'm going to go with my gut and say fish and chips. You got it right. Well done. I mean, fish and chips is such an amazing dish. I don't eat it anymore. It was just, there was a very limited time in 2019, specifically when I was training for a marathon, that I had this overwhelming, intense craving specifically for fish. And so I decided for the 4 months that I was training, whenever I had a craving for fish, I would just eat some fish. And then once the race was done, I never craved fish again. So that was 6 years ago, the last time I had meat. Hi, Idris Williams. Slim Shady is here. Rich says, yes, Cassidy, tradition will never die. Asia is nice. Philippines, so Korea, Japan I've been to. Nice, Rob. Deep Hope is here. The Corzo family. Ooh, I use Paco and flour to bread my fish. Nice. Lil Cheeto is here. Monaco is better than the Indy 500. I don't even know what the Monaco race is called. Is it just called Monaco? You probably was thirsty? No, I don't think it's because I was thirsty. I think it was just something about like the flavor and it's like, it was the only thing that really felt like filling when I was training for that first race, was specifically fish. No chicken, no beef, no pork, no nothing like other than fish in terms of meats. Hello and welcome back. I am making some Roasted potatoes. These are just the leftover ones I have because my sheet couldn't fit all of them. And then I also have some tofu scramble that's over on my stovetop. Shoot, I hit you at 100 likes. Thank you. Yes, I see that we made it to 100 likes. Thank you guys. Travel and Art says okay. If I had to go to any country in Asia, it would definitely be Thailand, says Magic Johnson. I think mine would be probably, it would be either, that's a tough one. I would say Japan or Russia. That feels like a cheat, but I do really want to go to Russia. Japan or Russia. How's your weekend going and what you making? Depope, I made some tofu scramble. I have some yellow potatoes that are roasting in the oven right now. And yeah, that's it for tonight. Also, I do need to close the poll question. I think I let that one go. If you haven't voted, you've got like a few more seconds and I'm gonna close it and let you all know who my favorite comedian is. Maria is asking, I've been meaning to ask how writing your book is going. Can you read a small sentence paragraph from your draft? No, so I'm gonna keep my, it is a manuscript that I'm working on and I'm definitely gonna keep it like under wraps until it is like pretty much ready to go. But I'm telling you, Maria and everyone here, like this is just, like there's a lot to cover because it's based on historical events. And so it's gonna take like a long time to get it into its final form. But I have been writing consistently. I wrote for 2 hours today, this afternoon when I got home from coffee with a friend. And I'm just like, for me, it's hard to like work on something where in all, like being realistic with myself, the final product is probably going to be like years from now, like the final version of this, because it's gonna be, I'm anticipating hundreds of pages long. I'm gonna need to check historical facts because it is based during a historical time frame. Need to make sure there aren't any like glaring errors that people who, because it starts in the 1960s in Ethiopia, and I'm sure there's people who could maybe spot things where it's like, no, that was not a thing, or that's inaccurate, like that's not how people talked. So it's a very large task. I've told myself like I will be happy if I get my final manuscript like done by like in like 3 years from now. I would love for it to be shorter than that, but being real with myself, like I work a full-time job, I have YouTube as a second job, I have a life, I have friends and family, and you know, I like to get sleep. Finishing a full manuscript that's going to be very long likely will take 3 years. What about George Carlin? Don't even know who that is, unfortunately. Patrick Jane. Okay, so let me see who I missed. We've got Michelle Sonares. Monaco is a country in Europe. All right, guess my favorite comedian. Kevin Hart got the most votes. It was 29% for Kevin Hart. It's not Kevin Hart, even though I love Kevin Hart. Jim Carrey came in second with 26% of the votes, and it is Jim Carrey. I love him so much. He is the one person in the whole wide world who makes me laugh the hardest consistently. He's so funny to me. I've always found him funny ever since I started watching TV and movies. He just has always seemed like the most hysterical human being on planet Earth. So it is Jim Carrey. Well done to 26% of you. Late poll hint, nice, Rich. Yes, true. I have Catalina Crunch in the back. I've actually got a couple of them in the back. I don't want to forget about my potatoes, but I will show you super quick what's going on with this lovely Catalina Crunch. So these are my two favorite kinds of Catalina Crunch. I love this blueberry, it's like blueberry muffin variety, And there's only 1 gram of sugar, 10 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber. It's completely vegan, gluten-free, amazing. And like keto friendly for like a low carb diet. Also, this variety is super great. It's chocolate peanut butter and similarly lots of protein, no sugar. It's sweetened with stevia and monk fruit and chicory, and oh my god, it's just the best stuff ever, you guys. I'm totally obsessed. Favorite cereal, Catalina Crunch. All right, let's see how these potatoes are doing. Also, I missed some comments here. Deep Hope says, a great friend of mine went to Thailand. I've never left the country, but he's been everywhere. Very cool. Hi, hello world. Deep Hope guest Jim Carrey. Dave Chappelle, I mean, he's amazing too. Dave Chappelle's show, forever goated. Maria says 2 hours. This is amazing progress, Hannah, and I understand. I hope years from now when it's finally finished, I'll remember you, and of course I'll be supporting you. Yes, it is my dream to like be able to come on here and be like, you guys, I have some crazy news. My book has been published, and like here it is, and show it to you, and then like just let you know that it's available to read. So yes, it's just writing books takes a very long time. It's not something, I feel like we live in a world where it's like you want the dopamine hit in a minute, in an hour, in a day, in a week, in a month, even in a year. And it's like, if you want a turnaround that's that fast, writing books probably isn't for you, because there are a few writers that can turn around books really quickly. But then you look at authors like J.K. Rowling, and it took her like 5 years to plan out the series and finish her first book. And then it took her 17 years to complete the other, however many there are, 2 through 7. So it's just, you have to think in years instead of thinking in weeks and months, which can be kind of frustrating because you're like, oh my God, I still have so much farther to go. Hi, Ray O. Persian Boy really likes Antarctica. Ariana Heckert is here. George is awesome. His way of thinking was amazing, says Deep Hope. Coffee is here. Technoblade Never Dies, says Dylan. Don't know what that is. How about that? Going to be a film trilogy. If it was made into a film, who would you like to star as your dad? Honestly, I don't know, Yabba Dabba Doo. I have thought about this because I would be so happy to see the story turned into a TV series or a film series. And I really would want, also feel free to judge this very old oven mitt, but I would want to see the cast of the TV show or the movies to be Ethiopians. So I would want to like be able to participate in the process of finding the actors, and it would have to be English speaking, ethnically Ethiopian or Eritrean, like East African actors, because I would want them to look appropriate. Like they should look like Ethiopian people from the 1960s and the 1970s. So I have no clue, because all the American actors that I know, aside from maybe like 1 or 2, are not of Ethiopian or East African heritage. They're like American, African American, not necessarily like Ethiopian. Micah, no, I mean, I would never, that would just be the saddest way to write a book. So impersonal to just have a robot write it for you. I'm sure some people write books that way, but I could never do that. No, it's too important of a story. It's too personal of a story for me to just drop into ChatGPT. Minecraft Avenger, hello. Coffee is here. Yes, we're all excited that Coffee is here. Kanzi said hi. Deep Hope says these are riots. Travel and Art says he's wild. Ray Shami Sal is here. I'm from Battle Creek, Michigan, Cereal City. Nice. Stevia, never heard of it. Really? I mean, it's like a common sweetener. All right, guys, one sec. I'm just gonna step away for just a moment. see how my lovely potatoes are doing. I'm optimistic about these. I was a little concerned about how unevenly I had diced them, but I'm gonna give them a little turn. And I do want to give you guys another poll question, if I can think of one. All right, Tyrone Bigsby reminds me of Kanye West. I swear I don't know who that is. Addie says I should make a smoothie bowl. Back to the Future says that would be awesome, Hannah. Pink, Yellow, Blue. Travel and Art says yes, congratulations on your book. I mean, hey, I'm not published yet. Like I'm very much in the early stages, but I have decided like this is happening. I am working on this every day as much as I can and just grind away, chip away at it, because the thing I've said to myself is the years are gonna pass anyways. Like I will eventually be 35, 40, 45, you know, the years will go by, and I might as well spend those years, you know, with whatever time I can manage, getting this story written down. And then once I think it's in really like polished, finished shape, then I can start sending the manuscript to publishers. Obviously that's a beast in itself. You've spent all this time writing the story and then you have to pitch it to a literary agent who then is going around to, you know, hopefully get it published somewhere. So it's tough, but I know for a fact that if I did not write this story, I would have such heavy regret at the end of my life. I would be laying in my deathbed thinking to myself, man, I know I could have written that book and I never did, and now it's too late. I never want to get to that point, ever. So it's worth the effort to not have terrible, terrible regrets at the end of my life. Hello, Eduardo Sanchez. D Pope says I'll have to give it a look. I cannot wait to share the story with all of you once it's ready. All right, we've got Sneo Jeff, we've got the Unbothered Sun. Let's go Knicks. Don't follow, I think that's basketball. Who won? Swiss cheese oven mitt, but no judging. Yes, very true. But you know what? It still works just fine. I have not burned myself yet. I may have come close a few times, but it still functions. Okay. This is definitely the most tedious part of these potatoes. And I've learned that using a spatula does not really work to flip these over. All right, comments. Yabba is saying hi to coffee. Maria says, I've been wondering, Hannah, other than reading, writing, and baking, cooking, do you have other hobbies you love spending your time in? Yes, so I like to work out. I do a variety of exercise. I like distance running. I like yoga. I like Pilates. I like stretching. I love high intensity interval workouts. The occasional bike ride, so I like to stay active. I also like hiking when I have the opportunity to get out to a hiking trail. And then I'm also teaching myself how to sew. I have a Singer sewing machine, so that's another little side quest that I'm trying to fit in. But obviously, time is super, super crunched when you know, even when you just straight up work a 9-to-5 job. Like, you have very limited free time because you're working 40 plus hours a week. And then I take sleep very seriously, so I do try to get at least 7, if not 8 or 9 hours of sleep. Mr. 67, hello. Giovanni, hello. Go Clippers. April Dawn Roach says, hard to write a book. Indeed, it is like the hardest thing ever. Travel and Art says, better late than never. If you put out an audiobook, would you want to be the reader? That's a really good question. I think I would really like to read an audiobook. Because I think it's cool. I've listened to a few audiobooks where the author is reading their book, And I think it's really special when the author reads it, because you know that they wrote all those words. And so like hearing them read it, they're going to emphasize the part of the, of the sentence or the paragraph that they wrote that they really want you to pay attention to. So I wouldn't mind if someone else read out the audiobook, but I definitely would love to do it myself. Better late than never. Depop says, well, that's awesome. You're taking the steps to publish one. Yes. I'm just accepting. It's like, I want it to be good, and no, I want it to be fantastic, like a fantastic series of books, because it's a lot to cover. But in order for it to be like exceptionally high quality, it's going to require a lot of time and patience, and you just can't rush stuff like that. I'm very curious to know what's shaped you to be such a sweet and kind woman. You know, it is a great idea to have one published. I've lived quite an interesting life. Well, I would say the MVPs of my life are my parents. They are, I mean, I'm biased, of course, but they are amazing parents. I'm very close with them, and they were very strict, but very loving, and they did not tolerate any BS at all. They made that clear. So yeah, I would say my parents were super influential, and then definitely like my schools that I attended. My sister and I are super close, and we were raised to be like each other's like best friend. So yeah, that is what I would credit 31-year-old me to. Audio Giovanni says Deep Hope. The Knicks won. All right, congratulations. Giovanni says hard to write a book, but harder to read one. Ooh, I completely disagree with that. Try writing like, oof, no. Like, I will say, even just from the get-go, writing a book is the hardest thing I've ever done. Because you're just like, oh my God, I have to set the scene, I have to come up with conversation, what sounds like what's something that real people would actually say in conversation versus a very like hokey, fake sounding conversation in a book. It is like, in my opinion, I think it's 1,000 times harder to write a book than to read one. All right, looks like these are pretty much flipped, and I'm gonna pop these back in. Ta-da! For another 10 minutes or so. 10 minutes. All right. Let's see how this tofu is doing, and I want to give you guys another poll question because why not? Okay, we've got the Agent 757 saying, I like tots. We've got John Joseph. Marie says, oh yeah, I remember you saying you wanted to sew an apron like your uncle. How is that going? Honestly, with all the stuff I have going on in my life, sewing is like on the back burner. It is like the lowest priority because I'm okay not being good at sewing, and it feels like something like if I decide to really dive in to sewing years from now, that's fine. Like, I'm not urgently trying to get good at sewing right now. Depop says, I can see a little in the middle of teaching my daughter macrame now. She's 13 and needs to learn how business works. What better way to show her overhead than work than profits? That's, I mean, hey, that's something that is like not taught in schools. Truth be told, like, you go to school to become an employee, not a business owner, not a risk taker, not as a builder or a creator. So if you can give her that initiative when she is 13, ain't nobody else gonna teach her that. So I think that's a huge advantage, Depot. Coffee, Rachie, and TT the cat are doing well. I'm happy to report. Okay, Oof, feel the overbearing parents. I just drink coffee and right away, says Giovanni. It's hot here in Texas, says Magic Johnson. Johnny says, as a truck driver, I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I would definitely get yours. Oh, it's so cool. I haven't even thought, I mean, the thing is, these are all steps that would happen like post I have secured a publisher and the book is getting printed. Like, I am very far away from that stage of the process, but it is still exciting to think about, like, oh my gosh, there wouldn't just be print hardcover or, you know, soft cover books sitting on shelves, but there also would be a bunch of digital components as well, like the audiobook. I actually have some recordings of, like, I interviewed my dad to get information, just where I was like, okay, who is this person I've heard about? What did you do when you were 8 years old? What was it like when you went through this part of history? So there's like really cool audio clips I could see like releasing like behind the scenes, or like just, you know, I would definitely want my dad to have like a part in it because it's a story about him. Magic Johnson says, I hate hot weather when it's humid. Tell me about it. A lot of people forget that we up here in Minnesota get brutally hot summers, and they can be very humid because we have so much water up here, and it is like disgusting because it feels like you're in a sauna. I used to read a book a day in my garage next to my rented Lamborghini, says Giovanni. Okay. Nate's live talk. I don't talk about my personal life on here. Deepope says, that's what I like to hear and is what I'm working on with my daughter. I'm now thinking about her having a solid role model. It's different being a man raising a young woman. I've evolved too. I can only imagine. I'm not a parent, so I can't relate to raising a human being, but it just, I've thought about like, man, your life really changes forever when you are raising a kid. Bert Muffintop is here. Hello. D Pope says, I definitely support you too, Hannah. I think you're great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Coffee with the sun emoji. Riley says hi. Hi, Jeremiah. Let's see. I'll read a couple chapters for free. It says dollars and cents. Riley, I'll let you guess my age. Carla Rodriguez. D Pope says, I've never been to Minnesota, but Kentucky is the worst as far as humidity. I don't think I've ever been to Kentucky before. If I had, it only was like quickly driving through on a road trip. But yeah, actually, I don't know. I mean, I know about like the Appalachian Trail, which I do believe goes through parts of Kentucky. But yeah, I actually don't know what the climate is like in Kentucky. It's Rob. Or is Rob. These are actually Christmas earrings that I have continued to wear since December because a lot of people guess that these are cherry earrings or strawberry earrings or radish earrings like you. I've actually had other people guess radishes. Hunga Bunga 443 is here. Yabba Dabba Doo says, fun personal fact, I passed English literature straight A's but never went to a lesson, didn't like the tutor. Hey, I mean, sometimes you don't need a tutor. Self-teaching is a thing. Tornado Garden says, humans are unpredictable. Life is a gamble. I think that's one way you could look at it. Thank you, Riley. Riley, your guess is 28. I would say that is the range people put me in. I'm not 28. I'm actually 31. I will be 32 in September. Andrew Sabini, Super Chelsea. Oh my gosh, it was so tragic this morning because I actually was not able to, I mean, the thing is I made plans with a friend well in advance of this weekend, but the timing of our coffee meetup was just, it was literally, I had to leave, like I had to turn off my TV and head out and drive over to the coffee shop with like 7 minutes to go in the on the final match day of Premier League soccer today. I was like, oh, kicking myself. I didn't think ahead and like just push our coffee meetup like 15 minutes later than it was, but obviously whatever. I can always watch the replays. I have the Peacock streaming app with all the games. Kirby with the little tofu and the Gordon emojis. I love it. Hi Santosh Kumar. John Opar is here. I saw a comment from D Pope. Well, in some parts of Georgia, it's considered legit hell. Oh, that's so sad. I like Georgia. No, it was hotter in Georgia, but I don't know. It's them hills, Giovanni. Nate Dawook is here. I had the same teacher for 2 years. I actually had that too. I had the same teacher from 2nd grade to 3rd grade. And I had the same, she was like a general teacher. She taught all the subjects, 2nd to 3rd. And then I had the same German teacher in 7th grade, 8th grade, not 9th grade, but I believe 10th grade through 12th grade. So I had her for 5 years in high school and middle school. Paulo Munoz from Argentina. Hello, Omar Majid, 1965. Good morning to you. Gordon is yelling at me. Honestly, I can picture myself on some kind of cooking competition show or doing something that's like intense, and Gordon is like there as the drill sergeant, and I can just hear him saying like, hurry up, hurry up. I can just, it's like, I would be like, oh no, he's yelling at me. Oh, getting yelled at by Gordon Ramsay. I don't know if that's on my bucket list. I do want to meet him, but I think I could maybe go without him like losing his mind, like getting angry at me if I'm not delivering. Riley says September 1st. Dominic Miluski says, you look like you're 21. I mean, people think that I'm in my 20s, which I think is sweet. But I'm not. I'm no longer in my 20s. I'm in my 30s. Riley says my birthday is September 13th. That happens to be my birthday, Riley. I'm also September 13th. Runaway calf back home. Oh, wait, I didn't see this update on Kirby's channel. There's a runaway calf? What? Why did it run away? All right, these potatoes are looking good. I'm gonna let them hang out for maybe another 3 minutes or so. Also, guys, it's almost Memorial Day. Woohoo! Who's excited? Day off, you guys. 3-day weekend in the United States. Woohoo! Kalbaz says hello. Prithvi Hema, hello. Coffee says, I'm from Georgia and the humidity has been terrible lately. Yeah, I can only imagine. I've never been to Georgia in like the really, really hot season. I don't think I have. Have I? Can't remember it. I mean, whenever I've been to Georgia, I don't remember it being like super hot. Omar says Malaysia. Steve McLaughlin is here. My birthday is on April the 8th. Well, happy belated birthday to you. Hope it was great, Steve. Mike is here. T-Pope is laughing. Folgers coffee is my favorite kind of coffee. I really like Folgers. I know people like to dump on Folgers. I'm not a coffee snob. I have had terrible coffee that's just like watery, like it's like water with the essence of coffee. It's just super weak and nasty. But even if it's like, I have found that like powdered coffees and espressos are fine. Like, I don't make a fuss over it. Carlos Dauges maybe? Greenleaf Music is back. Good to see you. She's on her way to Canada. Oh, Kirby, that's so cute. Hi, Gabrielle Larison, sorry. Hi, Gabrielle. I so wish we'd always have 3-day weekends. I know, Cassidy. I think you've said this before. Definitely, we've had this conversation on my live streams before. But if my company offered, like if they allowed us to do 4 10-hour work days and be completely off on Friday. That's how I would do it. I would do 4, if I was able to, I would certainly choose to do 4 10-hour work days and then have a 3-day weekend every single week, starting Thursday night into Friday. But that is not allowed at my company. And Jiroge David, hello. D-Pope says I'm flipping exhausted. Oh no. I'm kind of getting there too. I can feel it in my eyes. I was out in the sun today and I can feel like the sun beams. Deathstroke says raw with the eagles in the fire. Steve is here. Hi Steve with the blue hearts. Muzaffer Kabush is here from Turkey. Lots of comments. Doing my best, guys, to keep up with you all. Man and Machine, hello. We've got Blaine White. Can you give me the flag? Says Steve. Not possible. Greetings, Reginald Williams. Good to see you again as well. Good to see you. Excuse me. It's us, mommy says hi. D-Pope says been to Rome, Athens, Gainesville, and loved it. One of my best friends was an iron worker, lived there. Georgia is a beautiful state. I completely agree with you. I've been to Atlanta twice and Savannah was unreal. I need to go back. Gabrielle Larson. Sorry, I never know if it's Larson or Larison. I'm gonna go with Larison. Gabrielle, I do remember you because I'm always questioning myself if I'm saying your last name correctly. Larison, I'm committing to it. Chris Berry said hi. Hi, Max Edits. Cassidy is saying hi to coffee. Yabba Dabba Doo says, I've been to hell and back. It's a village in Norway. Oh no. If you stay awake from Friday to Sunday, you don't need an extra day. I am making roasted potatoes and curry tofu scramble. I've got to check on these. Both of them. All right, I think I got to take these out. Can't cook them any longer. So this is what they're looking like. Ouch. Damn it. There we go. Here is the cooked potatoes. And the tofu scramble is just about done. Ooh, looking tasty. Love it, love it. Okay, happy with this. Riley said, hi, let's get to 150 likes. I definitely think we can get there. Bra Games is from Brazil. Girl, I've been out on Silver Beach from 4 to 9:30 tonight. Nice. Ooh. Sounds lovely. Sounds like you have a Memorial Day weekend and you're just having a relaxing Sunday. Rack football is here. I've been to Atlanta for a minute. It's difficult to get through there, that's for sure. Yes, totally. What flavor? Rosemary. No, not rosemary on the potatoes. Looks nice. So the potatoes have olive oil as like the oil I roasted them in, and then salt and a Ethiopian spice blend called berbere. It's pretty spicy. I believe it has cayenne, garlic, turmeric, paprika, I don't know what else. A bunch of stuff. It's really great. Sounds good. Back to the Future. No need to rush back. Take your time. Tamata Badley is here. This woman needs a 5-carat. Kirby is sending a GG. What is a GG? And a 100 and another 100. It's Cristiano. Oh my God, it's my favorite soccer player. We got Cristiano in here, guys. All right, so I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna plate this stuff up. You know what it feels like things are just not cooperating with you. That's kind of what it's feeling like with my dishware. See you. Yes, oh my god, the best. Kirby Goat, it's tofu in there. Yes, travel and arts. Love your kitchen. Thank you, Mons Talk. Joski says you're honestly one of those people who just makes the room feel lighter. It's like your default setting is sunshine. Being in your stream is like a mood upgrade. I mean, that is, if anything, I would love my live streams to just provide some kind of like positivity in someone's day or some kind of entertainment. So I love that kind of feedback, Joski. Mons Talk, I am mostly on YouTube. I do have an Instagram that is the same exact handle as my YouTube channel. It's called Hannah in Health, so you can find me on Instagram. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of Instagram. I never have been, but I figured it would be smart to have a second platform to just carry over content and reach people who are mostly Instagram users and not as much on YouTube. Kirby says vegan. Yes, I am vegan, Blaine White. Travel and art, it looks like scrambled eggs, might make the mistake and eat it, and there goes my taste buds. Live here, live here, but it is a huge destination area here to South Haven, surprisingly, while we're playing Chai scoop ball for 2 hours. LOL, my daughter didn't throw the greatest at first, but does well now. Excellent. Let's see if I missed anybody. I don't think I did. I saw Blaine White. Wait, rosemary reigns supreme, but your spicy blend should make for a similar taste. All right, Deep Hope is laughing. Marie T, thank you. Nexon the Gamer, always the question I'm happy to answer. CR7, I've got my members only emojis. Emoji for CR7. Yabba dabba doo, were you a chatterbox at school? No, I was actually one of the quiet ones. I've always preferred, like, on a live stream, it's just me. So of course I have to be the one talking because I'm not here with anyone else. And I'm not just gonna stand here silently and ignore your comments. But in school, like, I was okay with talking, but I preferred to just listen, take notes. I definitely was not a chatterbox in school. Roger Hess, hello, good to see you. UGK is here. Hi, Riley. Yeah, it's chill because your vibe, aura, your voice and look is comforting. Plus you're showing how to cook food. Yeah, I mean, my rule on here, like, it will always be, like, if there was a movie rating for my live streams or any of my videos, it's like, it would either get a G rating or a PG rating. You're not gonna see anything crazy on here. You can have children in the room while I am on your screen. Like, you will never see crazy anything where you're like, that's probably not the best to have. Like, you could have me, like, it's safe for work, safe for kids, family friendly. That's my lane on YouTube. Tesla employee. Oh, I have a like a fun little Tesla related, it's not really a story, but just experience. So I had never been in a Tesla before, and I was at work the other day and I had, you know, I forget what it was. I think I took like a bus to work and then I was like, I'm not doing this coming back. And then I decided to just call an Uber. And then my Uber shows up and it is this stunning Tesla. I get inside and I was like, dude, I mean, love him or hate him. I know a lot of people hate Elon Musk, therefore they hate Teslas. But all that aside, getting into that Tesla, I was like, dude, this is a sick vehicle. Like, I would be happy with a Tesla. I don't have a Tesla, but I would love to have one day. Let's see, it's Cristiano, thank you. I can tell she's such an introvert and I like it, LOL. Yeah, I'm definitely an introvert at heart. I love being out with people, like my friends, my family, my loved ones, but I love like quiet, cozy work time. I love writing. I prefer to do all my work solitary and save being with a group of people for like social times. I personally cannot stand being forced to work in a really crowded environment because I get super distracted. I just want to talk with people about fun stuff. So yeah, I would say definitely introvert by nature, but you know, still enjoy my people time. What did I miss? Is it Chiton? Chiton saying, what are you making for me? Bearded Viking Woodworks is here. Hello. How is the woodworking going? Always fun seeing a verified YouTuber roll through the chat. And you've been in several of mine. You see one of her jobs now? Yes, correct. YouTube is my second job. MD Hyper says, I can learn English from you because you talk very clearly. I do try to talk clearly. I taught English for a year. I love English. I almost majored in it. And I mean, I don't mind like ratchet English, and also the internet is not perfect English, but I do try to speak clear English because I figure if people can't understand half the stuff that's coming out of my mouth, they probably are not going to want to listen to me. They'll just scroll on. The baseball dude is here. All right, I'm gonna grab my dinner. Someone was asking, is this a cooking live stream? Yes, Slum G, I'm about to dish up my dinner. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to not get food on my little Memorial Day flag here. I feel like I should maybe move it over. So I got some curry tofu. It might look like scrambled eggs for you guys at a distance. And I'm starving, so I'm gonna eat a lot. Papa Fawn's, I made curry tofu scramble and roasted potatoes. I'll show you the plate in just a second. And then I need this guy and the potatoes. This is like quickly becoming one of my favorite meals. Roasted potatoes and curry scramble. It's so satisfying if you're in the mood for a tasty, hearty, savory dish. And then you can't forget the hot sauce. So I love this it's dill pickle Serrano hot sauce. It's amazing, and it's from Thunder Bay, Ontario. I think it says right there. So just over the border, the Minnesota-Canadian border is Thunder Bay. I've been there. It's a blast. Highly recommend you all check it out. So I'm gonna put some of this spicy dill pickle sauce on my scramble and potatoes. No ketchup. I'm not the biggest ketchup person. It's never been my jam. Cristiano is back. Raj Kumar Nabhi Raj Jain is here. Let's see. Sophia Kantu, hello. Sadhguru Foundation, I remember you. Juan Pinto, thank you. Sadhguru, doing well. Beast Mode Max, hello. Silver Blood says LOL. Yeah, me too. Hook it up, says D Pope. I'm not a doctor, no. All right. UGK says, oh, red potatoes, no. So I roasted some yellow potatoes. This is what the final plate looks like, guys. So these are the roasted potatoes over here. This is the tofu scramble with the curry, the turmeric, paprika, and a bunch of other stuff. And then the sauce you see on the top, that is the dill pickle spicy Serrano hot sauce that I absolutely love. So this is like breakfast scramble plate for dinner, and I can't wait. Yabadabadoo says, would you trust autonomous taxis and cars? From the get-go, no. I would need to see, I really think I would feel comfortable with a self-driving car only after seeing like years of proven safety records. Like, how many accidents have there been in the last 3 years or 5 years with self-driving cars, and it was due to the car's mistake? I would not be one of the first people to just be like, yep, I'm good. Drive me home, car. We've got Depop saying, see, I told you have the mentality, intelligence of a doctor, LOL. You're a smart woman and it's very attractive. I really think I would have enjoyed medicine because I was a very good student. However, I am deathly afraid of needles and blood. I have like fainted, passed out so many times whenever I've had to get a vaccine, whenever I've had to get my blood drawn. I fainted in the mall when I was 16 and I got my ears pierced. I like got up from the chair and then just like walked out, and then I just like collapsed. So, I mean, I think I would have been able to like pass all the tests and like get through that part of it, but the actual job of a doctor, like all the gore, all of the needles and the just, oh no, I don't think I ever could have stomached that kind of work. Hi, Ryan. Depop says, there used to be a boat that went from Muskegon, I don't know if I'm saying that right, to Minnesota. I believe that's where it went. Hi, Losane, XR Peaky Blinder, Hog says, I can't eat spicy late. Yeah, I know it's not for everyone. Turbo, thank you. I try to stay in good shape. Just stay active, like do something active for at least like 30 minutes every single day, and then stick to plants because I'm vegan. Looks Fire says, Deep Hope, thank you. I appreciate it. Silver Blood, thank you, I will. We've got someone from Iran. Travel and Art says, oh my gosh, you're a pro. I'm not a professional chef, but I do earn income on YouTube. It is my second job. Croquette says, spicy. XR Peaky Blinder, Badger Steamship. I went to sea school with two fellas that were the fire tenders on the Badger. Interesting. You're hired. Jeebs, get the 5 carat for Hannah. Ray Shamisal. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Mr. Handsome is here. I've seen you before. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, Avery. Thank you, Godly Spoken, for subscribing. I appreciate that. Ari Mas says, let's say 3. Crocat with the cute heart emoji. Heart face emoji. I know, I mean, Deep Hope. I can see such advantages for self-driving cars. I've actually heard stories of people where they drove out to a party, to a bar, to some kind of function where there was gonna be tons of alcohol, and they're like, I'm just gonna have the car drive me home. To be fair, I don't know if that's legal, because like, are you still technically considered the driver behind the seat of the wheel, like behind the wheel of a car, I mean, but it's driving itself? Like, I don't know what the law says about that. So, I don't know. The thing is, driving is so dangerous. Like, there's just so many accidents every single year. And I'm like, are we gonna put control into a robotic system instead of us having instead of us controlling the vehicle? I'm not comfortable with that just yet. Kirby says, was just about to say, you love needles. Yeah, definitely not. Thank you, Matthew Fields, for the sub. Red Rover Mars, my favorite song. I would say it's The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel. Thank you, Red Over, oh, I think I said Red Rover Mars, but Red Over Mars. D-Pope says, me too. Snakes in the wild and doctors with big needles is what I'm scared of. It's the not knowing what it's doing in my, ooh. Yeah, I mean, for me, I got to the point, I really was trying to like shock therapy myself, for lack of a better phrase, by going on YouTube and watching like nursing school tutorial videos where they're just showing you all the needles, all the IVs and blood, like they're just poking to really like expose myself to seeing that visual and not get so triggered by it. I have actually like watched a vaccine needle go in my arm and like was okay with it and like just walked home. But like, I think for me that what I can never stomach is the blood draw. That, ooh, it is so creepy because it's like, it's just so gross. They're like taking your blood out, obviously for medical reasons, but to me that has always just been so uncomfortable and icky, and I just have never liked it. Hello, Anderson Oliveira. Red Flintstone said, how are you gonna get a tattoo if you're scared of needles? I have no plan to ever get a tattoo. It would need to be some, like, you know how Olympians get the tattoo of the Olympic rings on somewhere on their body when they've qualified and competed in the Olympics, because that's like a massive life achievement. It would need to be something on such a huge scale, like something that's so important to me that I feel compelled to get a tattoo of it. And so far there's nothing, even though I've had many like lovely and major things happen in my life, I've never felt the need to mark that memory or occasion or person or whoever in a tattoo on my body. Like that's just not, I don't really envision that for myself. All right, I know I'm behind in the chat. Forgive me, people. Hi, Abyss. I'm eating curry tofu scramble with some roasted potatoes. And it's super tasty. This is actually my favorite breakfast. In addition to Catalina Crunch, which you see over here, my favorite cereal. Chris is wondering what my look is exactly. I'm half white, half black, Euro mix on my white half, and Ethiopian on my black half. Abyss says, I want to eat that. Back to the Future is back. Love it. The Oreo Ritz, it's so good to see you. Yes, you have been able to override the system. Says yabba dabba do. We've got Traveling Art says, I know, right? Yes, but it's getting better with AI, I think. It'll be the Minority Report movie eventually. I know. I am more excited than I am afraid about advances in technology. Like, obviously there's downsides and dangers you have to consider with smarter and smarter technology, but I'm thinking about all the ways that it can like help people catch diseases early, get people places safer, pull information that it would have taken you days, weeks, or months to gather in a matter of seconds by just asking ChatGPT. So it's like there's so many benefits to having highly advanced technology, but obviously there's downsides too. I don't know, I lean just more on the side of like, it's exciting, like it's a new world we're living in, and also, sure, you can be afraid of it, but I feel like you can't live in fear if it's all, like you can't do anything about it. Like they're building these models, they're building these machines. AI is getting better like every week. So what are you gonna do? Like bury your head in the sand? I can't live like that, even if it is a little bit unnerving what they're building. Just a Dude says, I'm covered in tattoos, so I got over my fear of needles long ago. Definitely can understand that. Tattoos are not that bad once you get the first one. I agree, I don't like my blood took in either, but I love tattoos. I mean, I have nothing against tattoos. I think they're really cool. Actually, I love that show Ink Master with what's his face? He's from that band Jane's Addiction. I forget his name, but no, that show, like seeing what the tattoo artists are able to create, like, is incredible. It is like a form of art, I view it as. I just personally don't feel the need to get tattoos. Hannah, did you watch Mission Impossible Final Reckoning? Not yet. I actually, there's a few things I've been meaning to kind of revisit because I'm super excited about the new movie coming out. So to give you some examples, the Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, I definitely want to watch the last like couple of Mission Impossible movies. I know there was Ghost Protocol, Fallout, and another one I'm forgetting the name of. Rogue Nation might have been one. I'm a massive diehard fan of the 28 Days, 28 Weeks, and now 28 Years Later zombie franchise. So I need to rewatch 28 Days Later with Cillian Murphy. I need to revisit 28 Weeks Later. I forget all the actors who are in that one. And 28 Years Later, which just looks drop dead insane, literally, is coming out, I think, in just about a month. It's sometime next month, and I've got the day marked. So I'm excited for that. And then someone else was mentioning the new, what's it called? Final Destination movie. I forget what like the subtitle of it is. I haven't seen any one of those movies in its full entirety, so I kind of want to watch like one or two if they're available on some streaming app that I have, and then go and see whatever the new Final Destination movie is. I feel like there have been a lot of really good like new movies that are part of a series coming out in theaters this year. Red Flintstone says the first one has to mean something to you. Just be warned, it's addictive. I have heard that, Red Flintstone. Let's see. Casey Paul, I'm eating curry tofu scramble and roast potatoes. Reading. Yabba Dabba Doo says, but imagine asking a taxi to drive you somewhere and it didn't understand and took you somewhere else. Yeah, very scary. I am 6 feet, 265, and a woman with a needle scares me to death. I mean, yuck. Fear of needles comes, I mean, it's not one type of person who has that fear. So I get it. I'm with you. It's, ooh. I want to believe it's like that ancient, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like primitive, like caveman part of my brain where it's like if you're getting stabbed with something, it's your body is probably going to go into shock and like shutdown mode because it's like, oh no, danger, someone is like stabbing you with something. And then the fact that it's like the drawing out. Oh, I had a nurse and I was like, why are you doing this to me, girl? She was attempting to do a blood draw, and I really think like when I start to panic, my blood pressure drops. I'm about to pass out. I start sweating and just, it's terrible. And so she was like, just like palpitating or whatever my arm to try to get enough blood out for the blood draw. And she can clearly tell that I'm like dying in the chair. I'm like ready to, I'm like any moment now I'm about to like pass out. And then she decides to unhook the thing, and then she shows me the nasty vial with the small amount, and she's like, we just didn't get enough in here. And the second I saw it, I was out. I was like, boom, done, KO. And I was like, why would you ever show someone who has told you that they are super afraid of needles and blood, and you're like holding up this disgusting vial in her face? Oh, I tell you guys, some of these people, I tell them, I'm trying to give them like the heads up that I'm so bad and I'll probably need like a juice box and some Pop-Tarts to revive me after I've fainted. And then they still are like not gentle, stabbing multiple veins, not like, I feel like sometimes it's like there's no like finesse. It's just like, get the needle in and just go. And I'm like, oh, this is why I can't do this stuff. Okay, I know I'm behind, sorry. Silver Blood, thank you for the sub. Deepope, when will you show me how you make lasagna or spaghetti? Ooh, I recently made lasagna. It wasn't great, but I actually made the choice of switching up the noodles that I used and the cheese, the non-dairy cheese, and that was definitely my mistake. I was curious to see how the noodles would turn out and how the cheese would bake on top. And the first time I did the recipe, it was a slam dunk. I was so proud of it. So I will make that first version again, because my most recent one was just not cute. Favorite breakfast girl, it's 11:30 p.m., I know, but also it's Sunday night and it's Memorial Day weekend and I don't have to work tomorrow. Yabba Dabba says, however, would give more independence to disabled people. That is true, the self-driving cars. JD Slide thinks robots will take over the world. I really hope they don't. Deepope says, color of your skin tone is hot and have an Italian mix. Hannah's talking about AI and nanomachines. Thank you, HR. We made it to 150 likes. I wasn't even paying attention. Thank you, Rich, for pointing that out, and thank you everyone for 158 likes. That's what I'm seeing. The Oreo Rit says nanomachines are probably still in development. Hope it doesn't turn into the Matrix. I know, the very futuristic possibilities aren't fun to consider. But again, it's like, you just kind of have to carry on. Like, I'm not building the robots, but I know all these companies are, and I can't do anything about them building these newer technologies. So I just have to accept that that's what's happening in the world we live in. Kirby says, if AI takes over, I'm living under a rock like Patrick. Fair enough. Deepope says, I don't really use AI on my phone, but we're always evolving. Think of how life was just 50 years ago. I know. Deepope, I think about this a lot because I really do want to live to be over 100 years old. I really want to make it to 100. But I think about this, and I will turn 100 years old in the year 2093. And I'm thinking, like, I look around right now, I look at what technology we have, the iPhones, ChatGPT, smart TVs, self-driving cars, private civilians going into outer space. And I think, okay, this is the technology that we've got in 2025. What the heck is it gonna look like in 2093 when I am 100 years old? Haha, Kirby, stock up on physical books. I love art and tattoo is faux show, says Deepope. Jennifer Owens is here. Hello, hello. All right, let's get through these comments. Yeah, there's like 6 Mission Impossible movies. There's so many of them. Boy of Tabor. Interesting. Dave Navarro. Yes, Dave Navarro. How could I have forgotten his name? So iconic. Yes, 28 years later. Going to be interesting. Cannot wait for that. Deepope is asking, do you ever wear any makeup, Hannah, or just naturally so pretty? So Deepope, at this point in my life, I'm 31, gonna be 32 in September. I like the way I look without makeup, and also, so for example, my mom, she is a very ginger redhead, and all of her, like her eyebrows and her eyelashes and all of her like facial hair is completely white. So it's like, she does need to wear makeup in order to see her eyebrows and like her eyelashes and stuff. But for me, I'm like, okay, day to day, I don't really care to wear makeup. I never really have. I wear makeup on special occasions, and it's usually like graduation ceremonies or, weddings or significant events. If I'm getting my ID photo taken for like a work badge or my driver's license, I will wear like a little bit of makeup just so my features you can see them more in the photo. I was recently in Annapolis for a friend's wedding. So for that wedding, I definitely wore makeup for that just because I think it like lends itself to more, it just makes it feel more like special and more formal. But day to day, no, I don't wear any makeup. 28 weeks later was short and okay. I agree. It was okay, but not as good as the first one. Random Saloon, FD, Bloodline. Oh, Final Destination Bloodline. I only know because it's on the board when I watched Mission Impossible. Gotcha. Okay, the Oreo Ritz. Bo Tiki, another late night supper. How's Hannah? I'm doing well. How are you, Bo? Good to see you here. Sorry, I know I'm very behind here. Trying to get to everyone's comments. D-Pope, I'm seeing you saying, yeah, in 50 years from now, it's going to be mind-blowing how evolved we will become. I know. Scream, the new one is coming out from JD Slide. Neutral always win. D-Pope says Silver Blood. Top Gun 3, movie in development. That's awesome. Brody Boy, I do remember you. Travelin' Art says, ha, D-Pope Cyberpunk may turn out within 100 years. Yuck, LOL, can tell you're dying. It's legit, LOL. Yep, D-Pope. Ooh, Mr. Sinatra. Ooh, I don't know if that's like lyrics from a song. Woman, get that needle out of my face. Yes. Stone Cold Steve Rock. Anthony is here. I haven't checked out Cyberpunk yet. Interesting. Think of it as a cactus needle, says Travelin' Art. Hi, AP1234. Britton Chadwick is here. Hi, Jake. Elite Gamer is here. Imran is here. Luis Becerra is here. Depop says, let's go. Come on, I want to see it doubled from 100. We'll see. I mean, I have been on here now for, geez, time flies. Is it really math? 2 hours and 40 minutes. Jeez Louise. All right. Lucas Cefalo. Hello, Lucas. I'm not concerned. There's no way a robot can go fit a pipe. LOL. I use AI every day almost. I do use AI almost every day. I mean, it helps for when I'm like, my brain is just not coming up with ideas, or I'm like, God, I need like a starting point. And then it can just spit out like, it's like, give me 10 ideas for this kind of a topic. And it'll just be like, boom. And then I look through and I'm like, ooh, okay, there's like 3 or 4 I can work with. And then it kind of like will like kickstart the task I'm working on. So I love it for that reason. All right, Sean Desjardins is here. Depop says, have you ever thought that they might have a way for us to live longer? It's what we've been wanting, searching for since the beginning of time. I definitely think there's actually a guy named, I think it's Brian Johnson, and he's like a tech, probably a billionaire, and his whole mission now is to like not die. And actually they have been making advancements in like biology and genetics and stuff, like trying to figure out how to reverse aging at like the DNA level. All right, thank you, mods. Patrick Jacques, hello. Ray is here. I made tofu curry scramble and roasted potatoes. So close, guys. I'm almost caught up. Deepope says, I can tell you weren't wearing much if you had on any at all. You're very stunningly pretty, interesting, and intelligent among and many other things. Thank you, Deepope. Yeah, the thing is, I remember even when I was in like middle school, and that was like when a lot of girls started wearing makeup, and I mean, I have no problem with it. I think it's like really fun for certain events. It's just not an everyday thing for me. To be fully honest, I would rather just spend more time sleeping than have to get up earlier to fit in time for makeup. But I remember it all, like there was this terrible moment in school, probably in middle school, when kids are just rude. And I remember specifically there was a girl who wore loads of makeup every day. Again, not judging, like you do you. And she decided to, for whatever reason, she wasn't wearing any makeup at school one day, and this super mean, just jerk of a kid, I forget who it was, he was like, oh my God, that's what you look like you look terrible, or you look sick. He made some really just gross comment. And I remember thinking to myself, like, that's a really crappy comment. And I also would not want people to get so used to my face looking the way it does with tons of product on it, that when I actually take it off and just want to have my natural face showing, people are like shocked in a bad way about my own face. Like that, I was like, I just wouldn't want that to, I would want people to be more accustomed to just seeing my plain face rather than having lots of makeup, and then people are like, oh, actually, like, ooh, I'm not so sure how I think about your normal face. Okay, Art Obsessed is here, Nate Williams is here, Haley Chun is here, good to see you again, Harold Fisher, I see you. Your local hallucination is saying hello from South Africa. There's an old school RPG board game and now video game Cyberpunk 2077. That's cool. The Oreo Ritz, Back to the Future with the 3 little tofu emojis. Isabella Sweeney is back. Good to see you. We've had a good volume of people here tonight. I'm seeing 46. Hello, 46 viewers. Carlos Dawishes, hello. Senor wants some of the food. Keanu Reeves is Johnny Silverhand and promoted Cyberpunk 2077. D-Pope says, yeah, I think I've been on a while now. Whoa, I've got to reply to these text messages if I don't catch you again tonight. I look forward to chatting with you again. Sounds good, D-Pope. So great chatting with you. Happy Memorial Day, Harold Fisher. Yes. Bo Tiki says, food's getting cold, way past my bedtime. I know. The thing is, I have a lot of comments to read, so of course I'm not stuffing my face the whole time, but my food does tend to get cold when I make it on here. Joseph K, OMG, she has a face. Ducky Momo, hello. D-Pope says, hoping everyone has a wonderful weekend. Enjoy every day as if it's our last. Hannah, you are such an amazing woman and great soul. Would like to talk to you off chat, but I'm grateful regardless. Really great chatting with you tonight, D-Pope. I mean, I love it when, I don't know, people just chat away about different things on here, and I'm not alone in my fear of needles and blood. Not for me. Kirby says, I'm sure nothing changes. Rob Bank 777. For me, less is more. Yabba dabba do. Yeah, I would say, yeah, I don't mind wearing makeup, but I'm happy with how I look day to day. So it's more, I almost feel like wearing makeup at this point in my life. It's like, you know how there's dress attire for like my friend's wedding, there was strict dress attire. They made that clear in the wedding invites and also on their wedding website. It's like men wear suits, women wear either cocktail dresses or gowns. And I feel like similar to like the clothing requirements, for me it also feels like there's like hair and makeup, not requirements, but something I like to do that's a bit extra than every day. We've got travel and art. I don't have work tomorrow. Yes, indeed. Abir, how great do you feel to be an American? I love being an American. I am so happy I'm an American citizen. It's a great place to be. I know people like to crap all over the United States, but I'm not one of those people. Slim Shady, hello. Marcus, hello. Yes, happy upcoming Memorial Day, everyone. Thanks and rip to all the men and women in services. Yes, and EMS. All the service people, yes. Massive thank you to all of them. It's something I never had an interest in going into the armed forces, but I am very, very grateful for people who do. Joel says America. I like men in suits and women in dresses. Oops. We've got Blake Ray here. Velcro Ride says America with the eagle. America, woohoo! You guys are great. Like, I know we've got our problems, but everyone's got their problems. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm very, very, very glad I won the birth lottery and was born in the United States. Gorjeet, hello. We've got, who else here? Natrobe. We've got Popo Filippo. Cool, that looks amazingly delicious. If you're a veteran, I'd make you my wife. I am not a veteran. Absolutely not. I will never claim to be. That would be so crappy. That is like a Well-deserved title for people who have served. Of course, Rich, you have to say Canada is the best. Honestly, like, it makes me really sad when you see people who like really hate their own country, they hate where they live. I've watched a lot of videos of people in the UK, and it's really sad. It's like, you know, people, it's like a lot of millennials and Gen Zs, and they're like, the UK is dying, the UK is cooked, it's over for the UK, I'm leaving, I'm going to Australia, I'm going to the States, I hate it here. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so sad. I just, it'd be really tough if you just found yourself feeling that way, and then it's like, well, okay, you have to go through your day-to-day life, still having to work a job, and then now have to plan how you're gonna immigrate somewhere because you feel that strongly about it. It's a bummer. Thank you, Gorjeet, for the like. Ducky Momo says, Pobo, stop following me. Is that something that happens where people like actually follow each other into the lives? I don't know. Kirby says, we love Canada, our little sibling. Or as, I mean, the thing is, I don't know if Trump is for real, like, serious about this. But, and again, I don't talk about my own political views, but I will talk about, like, things in the news and things that people have said. It's like, how many people actually want Canada to be the 51st United States? Like, it's just so, it's so unnecessary. It's so goofy. I don't know. It like entertains me, but it also confuses me because I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. Do you like Charlie Kirk? I honestly haven't seen that much of Charlie Kirk. I've seen like his super viral videos where like he goes to a college campus and it's like one conservative against, or one Charlie Kirk talks to a woke college person, and it's like, okay, obviously that one's gonna get a bunch of views, but I haven't like listened to him enough to know if I really, you know, enjoy his content or not. Enter Wild. Marcus says some places are really bad to live and enjoy life, excuse me, but it's probably a mindset thing. Yeah, no, Marcus, the thing is, I totally understand people who actually need to leave their countries. My dad did that. He left his country when he was 21 years old, because it was just a truly like a mess. And so he fled, and then like there was like a civil war basically that went on, and then yeah. He was like, I gotta go. It's a mess. So definitely some people do have to leave. But it's just sad because I really would not want to have to go through that. V12 says, I want to live the American dream. Wait, what? LOL, I don't follow anyone, but that's awesome. I know. Sometimes people just say goofy stuff in the chat just to like rile someone up. Hello, John Dill. Hi, Zach G. Arthur Toy 12 is from Brazil. Ducky Momo, it sounds like you're convinced that Popo Filippo is following you. I mean, who knows? I can't say because I haven't been scrolling around on YouTube live tonight. I think I'm gonna get something to eat. I hear people say this a lot in my live streams. Hi, Nicole, Sosuki. Good to see you. Britton Chadwick is here. Hello, hello. Burr614 says yummy. We've had a lot of people tonight. I'm loving this. Ettore Boccalini. Hello, hello. How's your evening or morning? Or afternoon? I think that's Portuguese, I'm not sure. Ettore, I don't speak that language. Or it could be like Catalan, I don't even know. Britain, I don't know what that means. Thank you, Back to the Future. Johnny Ringo says, I'm hungry now. Happens to me when I watch people eat. Especially, this is bad, but whenever I watch the Great British Baking Show, they're always making some decadent cakes or tarts or puddings or cookies or donuts. And I'm like, every single episode, I suddenly now want to eat like a whole slice of cake. And Johnny Ringo says, thanks. Thank you, Leora. Chinese or Mexican food, which one? By the way, did you make that? It looks delicious. I did make this, Popo Filippo. I would choose Chinese food between the two, but I do love both. Always the people who are like, give me some, give me some. Elite Gamer, good to see you. I'm gonna add a little bit more tofu to this plate. Yappadabadoo says, I remember having dress codes when I first started work. Biggest scandal was a girl sent home for wearing trousers. That is wild to me, that a girl could get in trouble for wearing trousers. Adrian, I'm eating tofu and roasted potatoes. I'm about to grab some more tofu scramble from my saute pan, because this is just exactly what I'm feeling like. Super, super tasty. Very hearty. Adrian says, nice. Thank you, Ferris MAA. Your earrings are so cute. I got them on Amazon back in December for Christmas. So if you go on Amazon, you might still be able to find them. Just search for Christmas Jingle Bell earrings and you'll probably find these. Girl can cook, what's up? That's what's up, says Popo. I think I did know that, Arthur, about Brazilians learning English. I feel like pretty much every country teaches their students English. I don't think I've had fufu before. Adam says, I want eggs. So Ham, it tastes very good. Carlos Dauges is still here. What's the difference between bean curd and tofu? None. It is bean curd. Kirby says, Hannah, I have a customer who is diabetic and he's relying on vegetables instead of insulin. I mean, the thing is, I don't know if I should be concerned or if it's working out for him, but I feel like he should probably run past, unless his doctor has like given him the green light, he should probably run past that with a medical professional. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's even a possibility for relying on, or for, you know, having substitutes in work instead, or having vegetables as a substitute for insulin. No idea. Order confirmed. I know, Adrian, I would love to do a brand collab with these earrings and have them be merch on my channel. Have you had mushroom tea? I don't think I've ever had mushroom tea before. Burr614. Hisoka, yes, I am a vegan. How to fight negativity? I mean, human, I will say this. Whenever someone is nasty to you, whenever you have a hater saying nasty things, it just shows you like how deprived they are. Like, one thing I love is that I remind myself, haters are haters because they hate themselves. And it's kind of like sad. Ahmed Adam says, I'm Arabic man and I love your live. Thank you. Emma Lisa. Vengeance Edits, I'm eating curry tofu scramble and roasted potatoes. You have broccoli. Can you make broccoli soup? Probably at some point. Thank you, Alexander Prawns. Country Life, nice. Thank you, Livia. Hi, Ken's Vibes. Professional hater and I love myself. I highly doubt that. And you'll never meet a hater doing better than you. That's my favorite quote from David Goggins, who's a former Navy SEAL. Because winners have better things to do than be haters. I'm Elisa. Vengeance Edits. You're the first person that took my name perfectly. Thank you, call me Lizzie. Is that egg? No, this is not egg Thanos. This is actually curry tofu scramble. I made this a couple of hours ago by breaking down some soft tofu and then seasoning it with curry spice, turmeric, garlic spice, salt, pepper, paprika. I've got a bunch of the spices right here. I also have a video on my channel if you want to know the recipe for making this. Oh yeah, Vengeance Edits. Goggins is one of my absolute heroes. He is a winner. Kirby said, boom, roasted. Brooke Twirls, hello. Favorite snack is popcorn. Burr614. Okay, I'm trying it. Tofu, here I come. I love it. I am a big fan. Hi, Peter Raja. How did you become vegan? I just decided one day I was gonna be vegan. I started eating vegan food when I was 18. Hi, cutie. Merhaba, says Ali. Vengeance Edits, I do a bunch of different exercises. So I'm a distance runner. I run 3 to 4 days a week, usually keep it to 2 miles, really short. And then I also like to do yoga, high intensity interval workouts, just going for walks, long walks, and then stretching. I stretch every day. Finished both of Goggins' books. I'm currently reading Can't Hurt Me, his first one. Vengeance Edits, I'm 31, going on 32. Is that your college shirt? No. This is a Minnesota clothing company called Soda Clothes. Minnesota is a state in the United States. And I'm based in Minnesota, and I love this clothing company. What do you do for a living? I am a data analyst for my full-time job. Vengeance Edit says, WTH. I am 46 pawns. Is that breakfast? No, Jacob Freeland. This is actually my dinner. It is going on it is 11 p.m. here in Minneapolis time. Man, you guys, especially tonight, it's been a high volume of people, really like fun comments to keep up with. And it's, I mean, the time just goes by so quickly when you have so much engagement on a live stream. Hi, I'm Elisa. Hi, Clifford Jan. Welcome to the live. I'm just eating the last of my dinner. No way you're 30. I mean, the hard work is paying off. You're actually looking like 18. I know. It's like, I've seen this very consistently in my live streams where people are like, you look like you're 26. You look like you're 21. You look like that. And I'm like, no, I'm a millennial. I was born in September of 1993. I'm gonna turn 32 in less than 4 months. So believe me when I say I am 31, almost 32. But if people think I look younger than my age, I think that's generally a good thing. It means like I don't know. I think it's fine to look your age, and I don't think it's bad necessarily if you look older than your age. But yeah, no, I am in my 30s. Who else? Jacob, I wear these earrings because a lot of people actually don't think that they are, or they don't know that they are Jingle Bell earrings. They think that they're either like cherries. I've gotten turnips. I think I've gotten strawberries. 31, pretty young. Vengeance says, yeah, we believe you. Hi, Alexei. Hi, Natrobe. It's midnight for you. It's not quite midnight for me. M. Alves is in Sao Paulo. Like your hairdo, thank you, Clifford. This is it's like the fastest hairdo I can do. It's the hairdo I wear to my full-time job. It's like very, I don't know. It's the best hairdo because I can do it fast. It looks professional. It looks tidy. I can keep it just like this when I go to sleep. I don't do anything. You know, I don't wear any like bonnet or silk, whatever. So overall, I love keeping my hair up in a bun. It's very time efficient. Hi, Viswanathon. I'm 33. Oh no. XZ, that's brutal. Entero, I don't even know what that is. Sorry to hear you had that experience. Persian Boy says, Hannah, I'm hungry too. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say that. So Ham says, your live streams are incredibly engaging. I genuinely feel that sooner or later I'll reach even 10% of your fluency, and that would be a huge achievement for me. I'm so happy about this because I feel you guys. Like those of you who are learning English as a second or third or not your first language, it is not easy to learn. So I really I'm happy to hear that this is helping you learn English, because I do think that listening to any native English speaker from all over the world just talking naturally on the internet is like a great way to learn. So I'm happy that this is helping you, because in this day and age, like if you don't not knowing English is limiting so many opportunities that you have in the job market. Oh my gosh. It's what's that song called? All I can think of is like the Shiba Inu dog, where it's like beep bop boom bop boom bop bam. The kind of Shiranu wouldn't understand. The kind of you wouldn't understand. I will not hold your hand. I know like half the lyrics to that one part because I watched that dog short so many times. Thank you, Kirby. K-Dot. Thank you so much, Kirby. All right. Where am I here? I'm seeing Thanos. I might try vegan, but like I do have a college, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. There's lots of possibilities. Hey, can you suggest some books to read? Which are your favorites and how to start reading? I want to read my first book. Actually, I would recommend read the Harry Potter books because, like, they're written for children. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter for children, and I read them as a kid. Actually, like, my mom started reading them to me, and then I would read them once my reading skills got a little bit better. But definitely, and it's such a famous story. It's such an exciting story. I would recommend reading Harry Potter because it would be at a reading level that's much more accessible for a beginner, like beginner English, than starting with, like, I don't know, Stephen King. I would not recommend Stephen King for a beginner. Hi Sam, Maggie. Yabba dabba doo, I would just order them again because these lovely earrings are in my order history because data. Eggsy, ooh. I'm so sorry. What a scarring experience from TOFU. Hannah, how many episodes of The Last of Us have you seen? I have not seen the last 2, so I don't want to know anything about The Last of Us, guys. Travel and Art, what type of sauce would you suggest on tofu besides pickle sauce? I would say sriracha, another great spicy sauce. You could put ketchup on tofu like you would put it on eggs. You could do Tabasco sauce like you'd have at any typical American diner. You could do, I'm trying to think of other ones people put on, like scrambled eggs, and those are the ones that come to mind. I know some people put vinegar, maybe that's more French fries, but I don't know. There's a lot of stuff you could put on it. Colitis, stomach ailment, I have heard of colitis. Left Riot said hi. Sing it, Hannah. Oh man, you know I butchered it. I can hear it in my head, but the actual words, I'm like, dun dun boom bop beep bop bam. I'm on that understand. Kirby has to go. All right, bye Kirby. Thank you for the super chat. Shadow Milk Cookie is here. Boy, could I go for a cookie right now. I'm having some very intense sweet cravings, and they're hard to resist, guys. The first book I read was Harry Potter. Very sweet, Idris. We've got Clifford Yawn by Courtney. Yes, by Kirby. Catch you at, boy, whenever the next live stream is for me. I am planning on going live tomorrow night. DSR live stream, hello. What about philosophical types of books? I would say, oh, those are not good for beginners though. None that I can think of. All the philosophy books I've had to read, I even struggled with as a native English speaker in college. So none come to mind that would be good for a beginner. Philosophical type of books. I mean, in general, I love the Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. What do you recommend for breakfast? I would say tofu scramble, roasted potatoes, or Catalina Crunch cereal, which I have on my countertop behind me. Thank you, Back to the Future, for the 100 gift. Love it. We've got Ranjit KS. We've got Prem Chaudhary. Breakfast at Sally's. Never heard of that one, Clifford. Don't you dare make any healthy desserts. Yeah, I mean, healthy, it's hard to say. A lot of the desserts that I make, sure, it's maybe like vegan ingredients, but don't be fooled. There's still a lot of sugar and they're highly processed. So in truth, I would not ever call them healthy desserts. Persian Boy, Hannah, what do you think about the Minneapolis concerts? I think they're great. We have a great music scene here in Minneapolis, home of Prince. Yabba Dabba Doo says, thanks, mods. I know mods are crushing it tonight. I love it. You guys are wonderful. Okay, so I'll start with normal books. Yeah, I mean, go for it. It's, you know, your reading level and your genre preferences better than anyone else. So I say you're the best decision maker in that realm. Back to the Future says, I bought a bunch of them, Hannah. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, Ranjit KS. Tommy T-Bone Davis, I'm eating the very last of my dinner for tonight, which is curry tofu scramble and roasted potatoes. I didn't know that, Clifford. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Yes, indeed. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Lisandro, hello. Tommy T-Bone Davis says, sweet. Oh no, I keep on buying mushrooms. I'm a huge fan. It does sound like a very inspirational book. It reminds me of The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. ID 13. I could never get into Percy Jackson as a kid. I would see those books at the library at school, and they just, like, I don't know what it was, I just couldn't take them seriously. I was like, I have no interest here. Thank you, Tommy T-Bone Davis. I don't know, extra. Oop, lost a potato. I do have abs. Everyone has abs. I was not allowed to be a Goosebumps kid, unfortunately, Eggsy. I thought they looked so cool, but especially my mom was like, nope, not doing that. Too spooky. All right. Ooh. Yummy. That was very satisfying, guys. Idris is asking, do you like working from home? Yeah, I do like working from home. Sometimes I work from like my company's offices, but I think working from home is really nice when you don't have to drive. AZN Tone. I don't know why I want to cry every time I watch the movie Gladiator. Me too. It's such a beautiful movie. I don't do any kind of reveals on here when it comes to that Vengeance Edits. Yes, I have read Harry Potter, ID 13. Clifford Yawn says I read a lot of science fiction as a child. Hi Super Cuban TV. Banana Bot says I love your earrings. Thank you. Well guys, it is now 11:20 p.m. so I should wrap this up because I do want to get some sleep tonight. But I will be going live again tomorrow. Reminder, no problem, I'll subscribe anyways. Yeah, no, Vengeance Edits, it's not like I'm not upset or anything, but I keep all of my YouTube content like rated G or rated PG. Like there's nothing that could be seen as being like controversial. Reminder, I'll be going live. Actually, let me say this a different way. My next live stream, my next live stream is tomorrow night, which is Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, USA time zone, so Central Time. Woohoo! And it's Memorial Day, guys. Not officially, I still have a few, like 40 minutes until it's officially Monday for me and Memorial Day, but happy Memorial Day to all of my American viewers. I mean, one reason why I'm on a little bit longer tonight is because I don't have work tomorrow. So happy Memorial Day, and let me just see. Ooh, thank you for the chat. Roll Tide, I love that. Okay, I believe that's Alabama. Tommy T-Bone Davis says, I love a lot of movies. You're great. Thank you, Tommy. Can't Beat Simple says Traveling Arts. The Hater VK Parthikaswaran. Thank you so much, Back to the Future. You are such an incredible mod. I so appreciate you always. Ruan, hello. Rich, always good to see you here. Abhijit Atare, hello. Soham, yes. Glad I can help you learn English, and just, I would say, stay on social media and like listen to native English speakers, and you will get better at English. I can guarantee it. Back to the Future, send 100 for 2 jewels. Thank you, Back to the Future. Woohoo! We've got Veronica Sexton. Yes, until next time. Soham and Bentley said hi, traveling. Watch out for the Memorial Day. Yeah, I will be careful. I know people can go a little crazy on Memorial Day, but it's gonna be fun. So I will see you all tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Time, for a fun Memorial Day live stream. So I'll be back on in about 24 hours. So take care, everybody.